the paperwork for it is so.
Okay, it's Monday, February 20th, 6:30 p.m. I call this meeting to order from the Franklin Civic Celebrations Committee. Roll call, John Bergner, here. Angela Christie.
Here.
Doug Clark is excused. Mira Kresovic.
Here.
Alderman Holfers in a common council meeting upstairs. And Ann Adamski.
Here.
We have a quorum. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Citizens available to comment, so we will pass on that, and then we'll discuss the Franklin Independence Celebration scheduled for June 30th to July 1st, 2023. Entertainment's pretty much all set up. Bella Kane on Friday from 7:30 to 11. The Doo-Wop Daddies on Saturday from 3 to 6:30. And Mount Olive from 7:30 to 11. And then the Jimmy's Band on Sunday from 3 to 6:30. And then from 7:30 to 11, Almighty Vinyl. They're all have turned in their contracts, so we're all set to go. Any questions on it?
You said Doo-Wop Daddies are 3 to 6:30,
Yeah.
and then
Any questions on it?
you said Doo-Wop Daddies are 3 to 6:30,
Yeah.
and then Mount Olive 7:30 to 11. Did I understand correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Just want to make sure I have that down right.
All right. And then next is our volunteers. Wait.
That's a chit chat during the meeting.
Huh?
Okay. Whatever you read it.
Next is our volunteers.
Okay. Whatever you read it.
Next is our volunteers. That'll be coming out in the newsletter in March.
I'm ready.
Yep. Yeah, good.
Oh, I get a folder.
No,
Thank
those
you.
those are just the volunteers from last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does everybody?
The volunteers from last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does everybody have to sign this form? No.
I had so many call in, so I
Okay.
just printed the form and just kind of wrote on it whenever
Got
they
it.
called in. It was easier to keep track of.
And then do they have to have something with the city like a form? And then do they have to have something with the city like a form
Nope.
of any sort?
Nope.
Do a background check or anything? We just
Nope.
take them and.
But we do have them sign a bartender agreement, you know, the rules of bartending.
For the people who will serve
Yeah.
only?
You know, the rules of bartending.
For the people who will serve
Yeah.
only? Got it. Okay.
But they usually do that day because everybody forgets them anyway to bring them.
Okay.
Usually if you send them and tell them to print it
Yeah.
at home and bring it with you.
They won't. Okay. Got it. Okay. And then I do have a list of emails, I think. Did you? Okay. And then I do have a list of emails, I think. Did you send me in the email that you gave me? Has anybody ever sent an email to these people before the newsletter to see if they first wanted to volunteer
Not really.
again and give them the option? No.
Usually,
Wanted to volunteer
Not really.
again and give them the option? No.
Usually you know when the newsletter comes out.
And they'll contact
the
me.
call,
Got it.
yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
It's, I
And
think
you don't
it's
hear
good
from
to
Walter,
have,
though.
yeah. It's good to have in case, you know, if we don't
Mhm.
have people and we're running short, maybe give them a call, but you're gonna notice a lot of the names you're gonna have.
In the spreadsheet.
Yeah. And so usually you want to stay within that, and give or take, you know, if we have it 4 maximum and someone wants to bring a friend and make it 5.
No big
you know,
deal?
No big deal. but
Okay.
that gives you a limit of what you want.
Okay.
You know, that non-people that we feel need to serve.
Yeah, and sometimes it's
But-
tight back there.
Unless it's tickets Friday night. No, I'm kidding.
Even then, good God. We've got, you know, those coolers in the garage. They're pretty high, because when I stood there and I opened one of them, the cover, it's probably up to here on me. If
These
you're
are
gonna ride
Bills,
lock,
right?
yeah,
Maybe
they
put them on
lock.
plywood.
Yeah, but nothing, if you wanna elevate them, don't do that, because you're not
Like we
gonna be
did,
able to
right.
get in, yeah.
Could maybe
You're gonna-
wheel them over there and then take the wheels off, then could if we had to. That would lower it a little bit once they're in their spot where they're gonna stay.
I don't think it's that easy though to take them off and put them
Yeah,
in.
you can do it. It's good
For what they
exercise.
pay, and with the water coming out, if you're gonna drain them, or with the mud,
Either way, I would put plywood underneath.
something down, yeah. But I wouldn't put anything elevated, you know what I mean?
Right, we had those other, but those tubs were only,
Yeah, we did, because the
Those
tubs
are
are so
short.
low.
Yeah, they were low.
Elevated
Yeah.
it, so.
But I thought your covers don't come off, the covers go fold up.
still good to have covers.
But that's probably easier, because you could then stick the types
Signage.
of beers right up on the front, on the top, so that
Yeah.
people will see it right away.
But the guys fill them from the backside. We
Oh,
put,
the
we put
backside.
2 layers of.
Oh, the
We put
backside.
2 layers of the beer coolers, and the Miller guys come in between them and fill them so they don't mess with the people serving.
Oh.
But
well,
they
they're
can
gonna
just
mess
decide,
with
sit here and dump it, it'll work. They'll figure it out.
Do they bend all the way back?
it. No. They bend up,
Do they bend all the way back?
no, they bend up. And I didn't notice, I couldn't get behind to get the other one in the back, because they're crammed in that garage.
So they're always gonna be having to lift the lid up when they get,
The lid stays up. Once it's up until you physically put it down. The lid stays up. Once it's up until you physically put it down. So at
There's a
night you
bungee.
just close them, yeah.
Or you have a bungee cord option if, you know, if you had 2 of them.
We'll make them work.
Yeah, I
The
didn't.
lid will be nice to hold a sign though.
Yeah,
Get something not to have a time laminate. The lid will be nice to hold a sign though.
yeah.
Get something not to have a time laminated.
And people don't have to look under, you know, if you're putting it down on the bottom or. Okay, sorry.
okay.
I digress.
Donations and sponsorships. Ships.
I think we're good.
You got the letter ready?
Yep. And if I understood correctly, we're just going with Independence Celebration on this run,
Independent, yeah.
not
Independent-
both events.
Yeah, on this one, independent, yeah.
Not
independent-
both events.
Yeah, on this one, I think we did. It's up to you. If you wanna put, no, if you want it, it's up to you.
That's not fair.
I'm
Well,
just-
we're in committee, why don't we talk about it? Well,
just-
we're in committee, why don't we talk about it?
You know, in all honesty, we're gonna go in front of council and ask them to fund this thing. You know what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at your budget and say, oh, look it, you got this much in there, we're just gonna take it out of there anyway. So what's the difference? Just gonna take it out of there anyway. So what's the difference? If we take out $5,000 out of that to do whatever we need to do, or,
You know, it's not, it's
We
20
still need-
grand.
We still need authority to spend the money.
oh, that way,
You gotta
yeah.
have
I
the
don't know
authority
that
to
I
spend
followed
it.
what you said, I'm sorry. I don't know that I followed what you said.
To have a budget. And we're gonna ask, if we're gonna go in front of council and ask them for money to fund this, they see what we have in a surplus. I mean, I guess my thought is, the first thing they're gonna do is go, okay, yeah, we'll give you 10,000, but you know what? We're taking it, accounting wise, they're gonna take it out of our budget anyway.
Are you,
Well, it depends. If we ask for the city to pay for it, then it'll come out of their funds.
Which is still though,
But they don't have to take
Fine.
it, they don't have to take it out of our reserves. If we- Just like the 13,000 they give us each year, that doesn't come out of our reserves. It comes out of just, city
Right.
budget.
right,
They can take our whole surplus if they want, and use it for cutting grass. There's, technically, it's their money, not ours.
I think it would be a nice thing for the fall or the winter. If we're gonna have it earlier, traditionally, the day after Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving is nice. It's very rare we've had a snowstorm, we've had cold.
That's
but
right away,
I
okay.
think that would be pretty awesome to have the parade, have vendors out there, have beer. I mean, I know the Lions declined on the beer, but it's not a children's event. It's an adult event. The parade is adult too. It's not catered to kids. Christmas is universal, whether you're young or old.
We'll go over that when we get 4.
But you were talking about
We're
putting
just doing
it
the, we're just
together.
doing the Fourth of July, or Civic, the Independence celebration right now.
Yeah. I just don't think if you ask for money for, the November, I don't know how many people are gonna donate at this time for that. I think maybe a separate,
Do we do a second letter after the
Second
Fourth of
letter
July
after
and ask
that.
for more money?
I am hesitant.
After the
Second
Fourth of
letter
July
after
and
that.
ask for more money?
I am hesitant to do a second letter, because then it seems like you're nickel and diming people. It raises the budget, because you're gonna have to do a double print. Whereas if you ask once, like, everybody that I've worked with or for that's done campaigns, they've only done one. They're like, this is our annual campaign. This is it for the year. This is where we really need your support. And that way they know they're not gonna get asked again.
I don't know, it's hard to collect in donations because it's hard to ask for more money a second time. And it's even hard to ask for more money the first time. Just about all our donors, like Payne and Dolan, they've given us tons of money, but it's been
Right.
$5,000 a year now for the entire time I've been here, 20-some years. And 5,000 doesn't get you as much as it used to.
Right. It's just if you want me to ask for the fall event or winter event, I would like to do all the printing costs and mailing costs and all of that and just do it once. And let them know. Does that,
yeah. Everyone
It's
agrees?
not gonna
Yeah.
harm anything. Put
Might
it
be
out
gonna
there
harm
and
it.
see who
Right.
bites.
It
and-
might be good too, because sometimes businesses, they like just once figure out their whole year what they're gonna do.
Do we have, I had my taxes done this week, and Victory Creek Accounting does them, and I sat down with Tim, and he was saying, we were talking about the parade and the event, and he says, he says, because he does t-shirts and he throws.
I think
and
I
he-
have one of those T-shirts.
Yeah? Okay. So he says, he says, I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna give $5,000 and just have but he says, when I went there, he says after the event, he went to the festival, he says, I saw this little sign that said, for that tiny little sign down there, I want a board, something that says everybody's name and it shows this, and this. Can't we do something like that? You think maybe we'll get more people? And he said he liked the banner. He says the banner was beautiful. It was right in front. It was perfect. He says,
Yeah,
but
he does the banner.
the sign, he said, would come in.
well, there's the A-frame that
The
was
frame has it, yeah.
just,
What does he mean by a
outside.
sign or like?
He says it was just a small sign that said the 5,000 donor was Payne and Dolan. I think it was fireworks was Payne and Dolan.
Mhm.
That's
There
yeah.
is one,
Well, maybe we need 2 A-frames and take the larger donors on one so you can put their names bigger.
But you know-
Print if it needed, or use 2 A-frames.
I've never seen it though.
also, what about putting their names again on the T-shirts? We used to do that,
If we have a big donor,
yeah, certain
they have to
amount, maybe
okay
put
it?
on the T-shirt. You see,
Yeah, we used to put 4.
by a certain time, because we need 2 months at least for the T-shirts to be printed.
right. So
If we could put that on there, and then we could put on there
That would
for
help get the
early,
money
maybe
sooner,
early,
too.
yeah, early donors, and you get your name on the T-shirt, but it's got to be in by April 1st.
yeah, because
At least
June
May
1st
1st.
is too late.
Oh,
May
God,
1st.
yeah.
But Pandolan usually does not put it in right off the bat either.
Well, then I'll go on a T-shirt then. But
That's
yeah, and you put it,
understandable.
But put it in there that then, as an incentive, advertising on shirts, on the back of the shirts or something.
Yeah, we can always
For-
call those too.
If we could
I
get
mean,
them in.
Because
by-
there aren't that many that are of
There aren't
that
that many.
amount.
And that's, we had to do a lot, we had to call some people to get, donations.
You came in out of the blue at the end there.
Donations.
You came in out of the blue at the end there and saved the donations.
Well, but the ones you have to go chase, they don't go on a shirt, because that's not fair.
But gotta know by, what, 2 months in advance?
At least 2 so you can do everything.
May 1st?
By, what, 2 months in advance?
At least 2 so you can do everything.
May 1st?
May 1st? Yeah,
And just so you know, that will cost our t-shirt a little bit more.
yeah. I think that'd be worthwhile though. Cause you see a lot of them have, we used to have it on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we
Cause you see a lot of them have, we used to have it on them.
Mm-hmm.
used to have 4 different ones on the back.
And this is
then
what they
through
look
the
like.
years,
Yeah.
you rotate
Is that
them.
okay?
Yes.
Is it
I
on
think
here?
it's cool.
No. That's
It's
not
not on
on
the-
stuff.
But then we're gonna put, and then we're gonna add a volunteer, right
Then
word
he could,
volunteer.
yeah, then he could take that, he'll take the F and put it,
Right
then
word
he could,
volunteer.
yeah, then he could take that, he'll take the F and put it smaller and then put them in between that. Put the Franklin on, the F on
Yeah,
top and
I
then
like
put the
it.
donors and then Independence Celebration in the year.
Has this form been changed? Yeah, so my email. Has this form been changed? Yeah, so my email's on here?
Like I said, we used to do
Yeah.
before and then we rotated them from year to year
Oh,
among
But
the
you don't have
top
a section here,
donations.
so it's not even
Okay.
asked.
That's
That
On the
would be
border
nice.
was a little tough, but
Yeah, well,
so we
that's
used
nice.
MTB, it worked. That was their logo.
no,
That's fine. It worked. That was their logo.
no.
That's fine. You can do it.
Is that our new design?
Did we put it
Yeah,
on the
I
old
like
T?
that.
I think we
Yeah,
still
we
had
did.
it.
Different, I
just
wanted
about
something, I
TV,
tried to get some, you gotta stay away from
TV,
fireworks,
yeah,
'cause
on the
everybody,
border.
I've got probably 5 years worth of firework t-shirts that just says a firework on it.
Oh.
You need something different. Firework on it.
Oh.
You need something different.
Nice. I can't say I look good in red, but we'll try it out.
I thought the same thing, I'm like,
It's the color.
I know, but
Anything else you want to add on donations and sponsors? Anything else you want to add on donations and sponsors that you're thinking of?
If I do an annual campaign, I'll probably go back to the legal size, so I have that extra panel. And then I looked back at last year I did it. We did have the name of the bands and the times,
On the donation one, I don't think that's important.
and on the second one we had the full schedule.
The full schedule, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I do ask at City Hall, because I know last year, for whatever reason, people were typing in, I don't know what they were typing in exactly, but when you just type in Franklin Independence, you get Tennessee. And
Franklin,
a lot of
Tennessee, yeah.
people
Mm-hmm.
were on chance for something, and she's like, do you have the schedule? And I gave her one of those, and she's like, these are really neat, why don't we have, do you have any
Yeah.
extras, can we put them out here?
yeah, Dave did that, man. He did one with, and we put them at the Innovative, we put them out, just little cards, windows of some of them, but that got kind of,
It gets expensive.
yeah, sensitive about it. Mostly with the beer logo on it, or whatever.
yeah, I remember you used to be on Crossroads at the door. Crossroads used to put the whole
And they would put it up,
itinerary,
yeah.
Do make.
As a third sheet, or you know what I mean, a third of a sheet.
Just to have out and put out, yeah. But as far as sending it to the donation, the donation one, the main thing is give them the levels, the level of money and what we have for our activity. Levels, the level of money and what we have for our activity. But I'm not, or if you have that one with all the schedule on it, that helps. But to make it a bigger one with the bands and their time and that, if you had to get rid of anything, that would be the one you could get rid of.
Well,
And that would be the one you could get rid of.
well, I don't know if you can see it. Of course not, because now I just made it so tiny.
Yeah, because you don't want it too tiny either.
Yeah. So, this is what I have. So, this is what I have. I have to send this computer in, so, and my warranty is about to expire, so. This is what I have so far. So this is the front panel, the back panel, and then the inside. The front panel, the back panel, and then the inside. And then front panel, back panel, inside. And then the letters here
Yeah.
with the front of the donation panel.
Yeah, we want, that's
Donation panel.
that's perfect.
You want me to make it bigger? Well, because it's kind of small. So if you want me to do any addition, I mean, I could list under the donations. What do I have? Instead of singular parade, I could put an S there. Instead of singular parade, I could put an S there.
Probably
Well,
I'd have
maybe-
it separate. Probably best to have it separate. I don't know how much we get for the parade either.
I can tell
It's
you.
just most of them is general parade either.
I can tell
It's
you.
just most of them is general deduction, you know.
Right. Most of them are
donations.
not designated. As soon as Excel
Well, and it's all
opens
one
up.
pot anyway, isn't it? Ow.
They want to be listed though, like children's parade, you know, and like fireworks, you know, if they want to have their name listed, and they're given a certain amount.
Main parade
Okay.
last year was 2,500 total.
Okay.
They like anything with family or children on it for donating, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they do pick up
Understandable.
Yeah, children's got 40.
But if we could do separate, just to see how much, you know, if we can get some of it back to Christmas, maybe the Christmas would be more for them to go for versus the 4th of July parade.
Put on their holiday parade. Will be,
We talk about that more when we get there. On
Okay.
number 4. Okay. Perfect.
All right, next is food vendors. We have all the food vendors have confirmed that they're coming back, except the kettle corn. So we will have a space opening, you know, if we find another kettle corn or someone else with something
Do you have interest in euros?
that's different.
I think, different foods. And then if not popcorn, then I think we should,
Or fresh fruit.
Well, I think Lions were going to integrate fresh fruit, weren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're working with Civic to get those cups, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think dessert would be nice.
We don't have pizza.
No coffee either, but that's okay.
I don't know why
But-
we don't.
We don't have time.
Yeah, who's gonna volunteer to stand there?
I would make time.
For 12 hours?
She wants
You're
the
out of your
coffee.
mind.
Yeah, you can put me in the bar and not worry about the alcohol going missing on the coffee on the other hand. No.
We at least have room for one vendor.
I do like the idea of an apple pie being served at the 4th of July. I'm sorry, I just do.
She makes apple pies.
Who does?
This one with the Sweets and Treats truck. She makes pie, individual pies. Apple and cherry.
I
apple
would
and-
vote for the apple pie over the euros, but they don't have a truck. But when I told them they could use tables and we supply the electricity, they just went like,
Why couldn't we put a tent up? There's plenty of room. You couldn't extend it this way a little more toward the
It's,
the
I
houses?
don't know why
Would
we don't
Bruce
have
be
it
on
behind
here?
the main bar.
The Euros.
Oh,
That's what you were talking about, right?
yeah, that's why.
Okay.
But when you said we could put a tent up, I
You got
went
so much-
immediately to coffee.
Well, I mean that there's room.
yeah, but going around that corner, it's, no one's done well going around that corner.
No, that the other way.
Or
Not
too-
toward Schleter.
Or too
Toward
far.
not toward Schleter.
Or too far
Toward
the other way, once you go
toward
past
the
the
houses.
fire hydrant,
Historic houses.
it's not that busy down there, people.
After
do it
Uncle
well.
Fred's?
There's a fire hydrant right there, and we stop there, and there's maybe room for one person between there and drive to the, building that's back there, the park building.
But if they put up a 10 by
That's back there, the park building.
but if they put up a 10 by 10,
Or
that's
even,
enough room.
Right, I just think they've never done well, we've had a couple of different people that were in that area.
Yeah.
They
But,
watch
come
everybody
back.
light up when I said
And
this.
then we gotta run power there. We have to
Well,
run-
no,
Oh,
there's a
that's
panel
why.
there,
Huh?
the panel's there
Panel?
already.
Oh.
We gotta talk about power, there's
That's
a panel
why.
there,
Huh?
the panel's there
Panel?
already.
Oh.
We gotta talk about power for the other part.
Mhm.
Did you ever
Um,
hear from DPW yet?
Not yet, but it's still in the works.
That's what's scary.
They did tell me that they have contacted Wisconsin Electric, and that's Wisconsin Electric, and that's on the agenda.
But for what year? This year?
He knows we wanna have it this year, yes.
Is there a reason we don't go on both sides of Legend Drive? Because you don't want the back of it towards the main tent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
gotta have that open,
Because you don't want the back of it towards the main tent?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
gotta have that opening,
Oh, for
Just
people
let
in
it
and
ask.
out.
Because you
Yeah.
got that's off the backside.
cause
of
their
the cooking
backside would be
everything.
facing,
Okay.
I don't think we can do one next to Fred yet, do we?
They're
One.
pretty busy
No.
down there.
You don't-
People are
One next to Fred yet, do we?
they're
One.
pretty busy
No.
down there.
You don't-
People are
Fred-
standing
Fred
in
comes
Fred's
by the-
line. We're like 20, 30 deep at times. Because Lynn and I were down there trying to get a sandwich. So people are there. They see it.
Well, I can tell you from being in line at Fred's last year on the last day, I had people that in line at Fred's last year on the last day, I had people that I could hear around me saying, I wish I had known this was here. So
Oh.
they didn't know it was there. So what I did is I wrote down everybody's name and kind of like what they serve.
Oh. Okay.
And I want to put that as a blurb they serve.
Oh. Okay.
And I want to put that as a blurb on the insert that comes out right before the festival. So if we add somebody, I'd like to add that.
Or like a menu, or not a menu, like a map. Because they do that for the food trucks.
Mhm.
That would be nice. At least people can kind of plan their, because it's trucks.
Mhm.
That would be nice. At least people can kind of plan their, because it seems like everybody reads menus before they go out to eat. Everybody's reading the menus and they already know what they want, and then they come in there, I know what I want, I don't want to see that.
That's the trend now.
Okay.
Yes. Young people at my house do that.
At your house.
Mhm.
These weren't even young people.
Yeah, I don't either. I was so disappointed. We went to eat at what's the Emporium at the mall, and they have a little scan that you have to
Oh,
do with
you
your
have to do
phone
your
to
own,
get
yeah.
the menu. And then this last time we went, they had the menu back, like a paper menu. So I was
okay.
happy. I need the paper
Yeah, I don't
menu.
want to see
I like,
that.
that's where we went with Wendy.
So this is what I was hoping. I mean, we're getting way ahead of ourselves now. I wish we had some, I wish I could.
You figure out how to use that thing?
Well, I think there's a.
Do they have a
Yeah,
USB?
plug into the computer part over there.
Yeah, no.
Is it-
How to do it.
Well, I wrote the gentleman
Oh, this is a
that I was told was the
Zoom.
tech person an
Uh-oh,
email
you
to
got buttons.
ask.
You got buttons to push.
No,
But
to.
what I have listed here is a little picture of the carnival ticket booth. And then it says carnival ride tickets and I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah,
But
wristbands
you can't
sold, well, that's,
You can't put wristbands on, though they're not every day, so.
yeah.
No, but just that,
But
that-
when applicable or something, or
Carnival
when
ride
available or
tickets
whatever.
and wristbands sold on City Hall's.
West Lawn at the top.
So you could put
But that
sold
makes-
on specified days.
I can say wristbands like that make it sound like they can get them any day of the week.
Well, no, because the schedule is right on the other side.
They'll just read that and yell.
Well, too bad.
So,
It's more information than they had before.
They see the part that they like.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But then,
Since I just say at Rainbow Rides,
But they don't
Ticket
know what
booths.
that is.
they have their own ticket booths.
Yeah.
but people don't know that. That's why they keep coming to the ticket booth down there. That's why I wanted to specifically say where. You know, West Lawn, top
More
of the
is
hill.
better,
You
yeah.
could just say
more.
ride tickets available at Carnival.
Well, only at, because we don't sell them.
So you want me to get rid of wristbands?
That's,
I would,
yeah.
per se, unless we have a
That's
specific,
just-
when they're available or usable should be
And
written.
it'll be in our newsletter, you know.
People don't read that
Who specifies that time for the wristbands? Does
He does.
the Rainbow
Chip
Ride
does.
people?
Chip does,
Okay.
yeah.
So then, I just wanted to know what was available where. Food vendors do
Yeah,
not take
take
tickets.
On that top part, could you write on it maybe wristband Saturday 10 to 3, like, go down to that upper thing. Like, if they could put one more line in there that said wristband Saturday 3 to 8 or whatever.
Yeah, you can put that on, you know,
And
Do we-
wristband Saturday 3 to 8 or whatever.
yeah, you can put that on, you know.
And
Do we know
wristband-
the time yet?
Yeah, noon to 4, $25. So most people will be coming and getting their wristbands. They're not coming at 4 o'clock to get wristbands, or 3:30 and getting their wristbands. They're not coming at 4 o'clock to get wristbands, or 3:30. They're coming at noon.
They're in line at noon.
They're in line at noon, yes.
And let me see if I have that on here on the schedule. Saturday, noon
Saturday,
to 4.
Noon to 4.
Okay.
Have you talked to,
Saturday, noon
Saturday,
to 4.
Noon to 4.
Okay.
have you talked to Chip on that already?
Mhm.
Yes, okay.
Was that Saturday only?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's updated. I'm gonna have to update elsewhere. Have to update elsewhere. And I can play with the spacing a bit later. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So if we have space for one more, I advocate for the apple pie. What's more American?
I agree.
Now, did you say you had someone that makes apple pies, or?
That doesn't work
And we
out,
still got
then
the
I
bun,
can
we got
ask.
the bun cakes people coming back.
We like the bun.
I like the bun
cake.
cake.
Did you?
I don't think they sold that well.
They did pretty well.
They're coming back.
Okay.
They weren't up there in the top sales, but thing is, yeah, you said gyros, pizza. So whatever we can, and kettle corn too.
But
So,
you know, if we're not doubling things, how come we double?
yeah, they've always had that.
Because they're far enough apart.
Yeah. Because we looked at cotton candy and Chip said no, he wanted to be the only cotton candy vendor.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
So I do have under the carnival thing a note: fresh popcorn cart, fresh spun cotton candy, snow cones, corn dogs, fresh squeezed lemonade, and funnel cakes for sale in the carnival.
He doesn't do funnel cakes up there, does he? At the carnival?
Well, no, he doesn't.
He doesn't do funnel cakes up there, does he? At the carnival?
Well, no, he doesn't. Not at the carnival. No.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he does even fresh squeezed lemonade. Let's do that.
Now that you bring up funnel
We
cake,
do
that was
that.
Mr. B's, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say ours
I
guys.
thought last year we had
We had Bruce do it.
Bruce do it.
Yeah.
Um,
We had Bruce do it.
Bruce do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll have that again if he wants.
So up at the carnival, it's just the popcorn, cotton candy, snow cones, corn dogs,
I think so.
corn dogs.
I think so.
You'd have to ask Chip what he has. He doesn't have a ton of stuff up there. He
I'll
has
check
more
on
than-
that.
Yeah.
Bruce might be able to do more stuff now if, on that particular weekend. It might be easier for him to get do more stuff now if, on that particular weekend. It might be easier for him to get labor. Because that's what held him back last time.
Yeah, you said popcorn.
I had popcorn, popcorn, cotton candy, snow cones, corn dogs, lemonade, fresh squeezed lemonade. And I think I got that off of his
His thing.
thing, yeah.
It was fresh. Okay. I'll have him confirm.
And what was the thing I just took off?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Funnel cakes?
Yeah.
Funnel cakes.
Funnel cakes.
He might not done the
Yeah, it
fresh
takes a lot of
squeezed
labor.
lemonade. Not
We'll
he-
see.
Because we had Bruce before we had Chip. He had this fresh squeezed lemonade.
Yeah, that's his specialty. Okay. Ready to go on?
I need to talk to the electrical people though, because we have food vendors that are gonna be.
That's, I've already done that.
You've done that?
Yep.
You told them how many amps and
Got
wires
from
and all that?
what each one wanted for amps,
And
and I gave it
if,
to
if you
Kevin.
want me
Okay.
to check out the arrows,
This box
I
needs
will.
this many. This box.
That's
And how
only
many
if
amps you
I
need?
can't find somebody
Okay, good.
For,
for the 4th.
Because
Or
you-
for-
And yeah,
No.
yeah.
oh,
No,
so
I think
why
you
can't
want
we have
power.
both?
Because
we
they
have
have to
room?
sometimes hot wire.
She's got a truck.
50 amps. There was a
So is she gonna go
problem with
at
that
the end?
always. that
She would have the
Now they
truck,
want to be
right?
able to just plug it in instead of hot wiring it.
I don't know.
And you said she's sweet
Then we have
treats?
to have their kind of plug.
Short
Put
and
on
sweet.
60
cigarettes.
amp there.
She's apple
No, they just have to put a little
and
plug on the side.
buttercream filled
Yeah.
coffee cake and
But do they need more
caramel
power, or
apple
do we
crumble
just need a
cake.
different plug?
That sounds like
Different
a hit.
plugs.
Okay.
But she does a
Yeah.
theme thing, so she'll do bars and then like she's got a staple of eclairs, Jimmy Squares, cannoli,
That sounds like an absolute hit.
and then she does like a special of certain bars depending on what the season is. But I bet she would do like maybe an apple pie and a cherry pie.
Someone got me an elephant ear.
You want another elephant ear, don't you?
That's from.
That's her, yeah.
That's her that went up on Greenfield.
That's her mother. Her mother actually she
Probably my
sold the
favorite.
business and sold her name. So she's working with the daughter now with the food truck or with the dessert truck.
Check them out. That would be.
So, and I mean, everything they have is between $3 and $5.
Oh,
And it's all individual
Yeah.
and it's nice, it's big. It's not like the,
Check them out.
yeah, ask her. Do you want it for all 3 days?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do they have a bakery or something they bake it at, or?
No, they bake out of Divine Mercy Church.
Okay,
They use the kitchen.
okay, I was just gonna say they need a
Yeah.
commercial kitchen to cook
She
out of.
cooks there, yeah.
Otherwise
Puts everything
inspectors
in.
go crazy.
Once she confirms,
Yeah,
send me the info so I can put her on that list so I can tell people.
yeah, okay. I will give her, yeah.
Do you want both or just the room for the one?
I'd say the room for the one, but if we, I just don't see we have room for any, for
Okay.
two of them.
Okay,
Everybody, for
Okay.
two of them.
okay.
Everybody else, you know, is going to be back. I just can't see telling someone, hey, there's someone had to be lowest in sales, but, you know, we want variety. We want something,
Right.
it's not making money, we want variety. We want something,
Right.
it's not making money, it's having something there.
Who was the
People-
lowest in sales?
I think bun cake.
See, and I don't think they should even be with the food vendors, because they're not, everything's packaged to go already, so it's just like you're
Yeah.
buying just like the everything's packaged to go already, so it's just like you're
Yeah.
buying just like the popcorn ones.
They needed a lot of power for the,
Oh, for those freezers, yeah,
Yeah.
refrigerators.
they needed power. We'll see, but if some, you know, they've all confirmed though, snow cone. We'll see, but if some, you know, they've all confirmed though, snow cone, Dion G's, Bruce, so good. The sweet corn guy. All right, fireworks. Fireworks are set for Saturday night, 9:30, and we're going to Saturday night, 9:30, and we're going to have our best display ever, and just counting on good weather. And then the next topic is the parade.
I just went for the
Recovered.
permit today, so everything's set. I just went for the
Recovered.
permit today, so everything's set. To shut off both sides of the street. And there's only gonna be one way in, which is gonna be off Loomis Road and Highway 100.
Same as last year.
Well, last year they had both sides. We had Forest Hill
Oh,
for a
did they?
while. But yeah, they're not gonna, so everybody had Forest Hill
Oh,
for a
did they?
while. But yeah, they're not gonna, so everybody's gonna have to go all the way around. Fire, police, everything. Well, police won't because they're right down the end there, but yeah, everybody else is gonna have to. And they come last minute, so they're not gonna get through. That's the unfortunate part, but they come last minute, so they're not gonna get through. That's the unfortunate part, but that's why I'd like to have both sides closed so that I can bring them on the other side. I think that'll be easier for them than coming up that center row. But yep, everything's set.
Badger Band, anything?
I haven't heard from them. Everything's set.
Badger Band, anything?
I haven't heard from them, but we're on the list. So we'll see. I got some bunch of unicycle kids from MSOE that have a group, so we're gonna be unicycles in, so that'll be something different.
Yeah, kids like that.
So yeah, I'm trying to find different things.
So if I found somebody who was interested, they should email the email,
Yes,
the franklinparade.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have anybody, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to know.
Yeah, right.
Just in case.
Just in case I hear something on the side.
But wristband day is Saturday from noon to 4, and that's $25. And tickets have been ordered, so we've got tickets on order. And anything else you want to talk about for the 4th?
You gonna do
We're
the
just
bottle?
selling the wine that we got.
So we're not ordering anymore or getting
No.
any more? No?
Don't need to order anymore.
We do need cups this year, though.
Yeah.
Cups and, yes, definitely need cups for the wine.
Okay. And it's not like we can find anything different because
We, based on what we sold last year, we got enough to sell for a couple of years.
oh. Well, at least it's available.
Was there a minimum requirement when you ordered?
When we ordered, I can't remember.
Okay.
I think it was based on an estimate. It was based on an estimate of how many bottles we went through and all that. So,
But last year, we forgot to have the signage up,
right.
so the first day and a half, there was no signage up, and then we didn't have cups,
Yeah.
so.
So does wine come in like a regular bottle?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
You're
the
gonna make
name?
me say it, aren't you?
I don't
Is it
drink wine,
Sutter?
so I don't know.
Huh?
Is it
Yes.
Sutter Home?
Sutter Home.
Okay.
Why, what did you say?
Can never get the vowel right.
Suitor?
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. And then yeah, tickets are on order. So anything else?
What about prices? Are we gonna keep beer the same? Do we know if it went up?
I think we're gonna have to.
Well, tickets are ordered, yeah, we don't have much of a choice now, but
Yeah.
or not until just before
We usually get that when we go to the
the trade show.
trade show. He gives us a pamphlet of all.
Could have
all the
sent it or
prices.
something.
But I don't see them change it from last year much. I'd be surprised.
Okay.
That $5 works so well. Just
Half a sheet.
yeah, sheet, and then they take out a 5 or a 10, and the cashiers don't have to worry about if it's $6, and then they got to give them 4 singles, and we've been in there.
Way too many people buying one.
We've been in there.
Way too many people buying one beer.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah. And half of them don't know anyway. They just hand you money saying, I want 5 beers. Here. It's okay. Or they ask that you have to tell them, and they gotta ask you how to figure it out. How many do? Or they ask that you have to tell them, and they gotta ask you how to figure it out. How many dollars do I need for a beer?
Yeah. Is it 1 ticket per beer, or is it?
Yeah.
So hopefully, I have some mock-ups of signs, like small, you know, the little $1, $2, like small, you know, the little $1, $2 posters from
Yeah, those
Print
were good.
Graphics that specify 5 tickets, you know, if you're keeping it the same. You know, 5 tickets for this, 4 tickets for the NA beer. The NA beer.
Yeah, I can cover that, but we pay such, even if they went up 10%, you know, the price would go up maybe 20 cents. The price would go up maybe 20 cents or something that we're paying per beer, and we're still making
Well,
a
we have to wait
decent
and see what it
profit.
really is, because it could be more than 10%, so.
Tickets are cash only. Yep. Tickets are cash only. Yep. And that goes on the ticket booth.
I would put them right on the windows, like right above where they.
That's good.
Those ticket booth people are so tall. You're putting that sign above. People are so tall. You're putting that sign above them.
Well, just like on the top of the window,
Yep.
I would.
Yeah. It's cool. Oh, but the other thing you're gonna change, that I think, soda or water. The other thing you're gonna change, that I think, soda or water. Soda should be should be 2 tickets.
$2?
Yes.
2 tickets for soda?
Yeah.
Are going bottles instead of cans, or,
Like these.
yeah, or what do you, that's what you wanna do? The 16
Either
ounce?
that or just go with, these are 60. Either that or just go with, these are 60 cans or 12 ounce, right?
Yeah, these are 16, I think. yeah.
But everywhere, other festivals I've gone to, it's $2.
Right,
Okay,
because you
just
have
so
the
you know,
larger
most
bottle.
of our vendors that sold soda did it for
And
1.
it helps them then too.
Yeah, so let them know maybe.
The big bottles were 1. I
When I was snapping photos, I mean,
Yeah.
from what I remember, everybody was selling at matching prices. So they
Maybe
probably took a little bit of a loss just to.
It was more than $1 for a
and
soda.
then they can ask
wasn't it?
more too, huh?
It was more than $1 for a soda, wasn't it?
It used, but maybe this year because of one person doing it, $2.
I thought it was $2, I could be wrong.
No, it was. But that
She's
was
got video
then.
evidence against
She's,
reality.
yeah, that was then. This is now.
Can't fight the damn video evidence.
No, I just am curious what
You
they
didn't edit it
had.
and put a 1 in there, did you?
Pardon?
You didn't edit the picture and put a 1 in there, did you?
No.
Photoshop it.
Her head's in the way, so I can't
I
see
think
what
I'll-
they had.
Then we could be making up the big difference on the soda and the water, because I think that's below market, and keep the $5 for the beer. You guys agree?
That's fine. I don't drink soda. I don't care.
And people in the way all the time.
Normally.
Wait, you just made them disappear, that was good.
Oh.
Soda, $2.
All right, so for that, everything
Oh,
else?
there you go. Lions had $2.
Lines are $2 for soda. Mhm.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah,
Do you want to follow that?
yeah.
Okay. Of course.
And did they show a picture? Was it a can soda or a
I
bottle?
saw bottles, I thought.
It's just a lot more, Bobby, to get the, those plastic 8-packs.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Take them
When
off
you
and
have
cut
the-
them so they don't kill the animals.
when you have the
or
cans,
birds.
you just open the box up and drop them in. Huh?
You're such a
The cutters?
Terry.
You gotta cut up the little plastic thing
Yeah,
around
yeah.
so the animals don't get stuck.
Yeah,
in
the
it.
ducks get them stuck on their head or on their neck.
He doesn't like animals, geez.
I know
You
about
see the
that.
fur
On their
head,
neck you find them.
Yeah, ducks.
Poor
the
baby.
birds and stuff.
I'm gonna go peck his eyes out now.
I'll
I
have
don't know
my
what they
girls
have.
come and do that, so
They got
they'll save
cans.
them animals.
Well, lounge
They'll be
cans.
There
fine.
you go.
Cans out
Trying to
there?
save
They had
the
12
duck.
ounce cans. The Gatorade was $3. So they're $2 for a can and $3 for your Gatorade.
Never did say
And it
it.
We're
looks
not
like that's the
selling
water.
We were really cheap
I
at a buck.
know, but
Looks like that's the
that's
water.
I've seen
Yeah.
that all over the place. I've seen $2 for cans of soda.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think $2 for a bottle is very reasonable.
Yeah.
You want $1 water though?
Yeah.
I do $2 for water too.
Okay, let's go on to discussion and ideas for possible plan of November 25th, 2023 Civic Celebration Holiday Event. 25th, 2023 Civic Celebration Holiday Event. And first thing is the parade, which we had a parade this year. Well, actually last year.
And the year before.
And then parade-wise, and then parade-wise, you know, at that time of year, you think we get, you know, because we're doing it at a better time, you think we get more participants? At a better time, you think we get more participants?
It's hard to say. We don't have that much room. That's why we can't have many.
Room is bad, you know.
I think the weather will definitely be much better. Being earlier, it'll be nicer. Being earlier, it'll be nicer.
Yeah. I mean, it was quick. It was,
Well, everybody was cold. I mean, people were just flying. They were freezing. It was cold. And
it is time, you know, I don't know about, you know, the time of year that we're doing it is Thanksgiving weekend. You know, don't know if people, and we don't know yet, you know, how many people. That is the first weekend of deer hunting.
It's the second.
Second,
That's Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
that's the day it ends then. Yeah, so it starts on the 17th,
The weekend before, that Saturday before, yes.
17th.
Yeah, opening day.
Because this last year though, didn't it start on the 20th?
Well, Thanksgiving I think was later this year.
That's why.
Yeah.
I think next year Thanksgiving is the actual last Thursday.
This year?
So
Next year.
opening day would be the 18th
18th.
of November.
Yeah, that's the most popular, the first weekend though, right, is the most popular. They get their deer, they ain't going back
Right.
Right.
at the end of the season anyway. Most of them go that first weekend,
Right.
okay?
You don't even go deer hunting. How do you know that?
The whole family did, except for me.
And why is that?
Because he likes the animals.
I like indoor sports. Okay. And then, Mary, you wanna go over activities?
That's a good question. So, my thing is, would you want to expand this? What do you think about expanding? Want to expand this? What do you think about expanding it into a full event? You know, just maybe from like noon to 5, not like multiple days, but kind of to draw maybe more people out too. Have maybe a market fill out too. Have maybe a market. If we rent the Legend Pavilion, we wouldn't need the porta potties, and we could run the cafe out of, or I'm kind of envisioning like it could be, or I'm kind of envisioning like it could be out of the Legend Pavilion, what I'm thinking of as a Christmas cafe, where the focus is more, we could sell coffee, hot cocoa, tea, like a peppermint tea or something, cocoa, tea, like a peppermint tea or something,
get it from Sendex. We have to have the health inspection, I'm assuming, because we're making and selling something consumable. But I think financially that would be better, and we know we're, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could do some alcohol there. I don't know but I do know that, is it Badger, our other distributor, sells the little mini bar bottles of Irish cream. And if we got maybe I don't expect we would sell more than that. But at least it would be one more thing to have on the menu. And then just pour that in the bottom of the coffee cup. And then
Isn't that hard liquor?
technically?
No.
What, Bailey's Irish cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know if council would allow
Is
that.
it fermented or is it distilled? If it's fermented, it's class
It's
E.
whiskey.
Distilled is class A, so it's.
I know I can't
don't
drink
know how
it
they
'cause
make
it's
it.
It's not fermented, it's cream, so I would think it's cooked.
I think it's like 40.
We'll have to check into it.
Ask your phone, that's just gonna say.
But can we have any type of liquor or no?
No.
Just beer and wine or a malt beverage?
On the class B license, we can just have
No.
fermented stuff.
I
don't
think we
it-
can ask, because there was a case, Alexander v. Madison, but maybe that just is AIDS. Because if it's prepackaged, it's saleable. And the case was Alexander v. Madison. And that wasn't the primary focus of the case, but it came out as a side note of it.
We could ask for an A license, I don't know if we can have them or not, or not even,
Well, I
we
would
just serve beer, but if you
Yeah,
set up a
it's
whole
Bailey's
bar,
is
you
an
just
Irish,
have an A license.
it's an Irish cream liquor and alcohol drink flavored with cream, cocoa, and Irish whiskey.
Whiskey.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you can ask. The other thing is, if you go with the mulled wine, can you?
That's pretty much the same as.
That's the same thing. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think there's any whiskey.
But is
Oh,
there
but
rum?
it's rum, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oops, heads
No,
the
that
name.
doesn't count. Only 3 letters, it doesn't count.
Let's go with that.
if we go with a most expensive would be to buy from Badger. They already have the pre-bottled mulled wine. I'm thinking 1 coffee pot full, like a 40 cup.
No, I think
So that's 3 bottles, I think.
Badger could, like when we sold the bottles of wine from Norway, we
You
had
bought
to get it
from-
from the,
Badger was the distributor you bought the wine from last year, isn't it?
We have to buy
You got it from
from a
discount.
distributor. We can't buy
No?
from a grocery store and resell it. That's how we couldn't.
Right.
We can't buy
No?
from a grocery store and resell it. That's how we couldn't
Right.
go to like a
Right.
consumer beverage and do it.
right,
And that's why we couldn't buy from discount last year, because they didn't have the distributor license.
right, and we got it from Badger.
So Badger has the pre-bottled mulled wine. I don't know the price, I didn't contact any mulled wine. I don't know the price, I didn't contact anybody there, because I don't know. But I know that it's pre-bottled. That would be just crack it open, put it in the coffee pot, let it heat up, run through. Second option would be to buy a prepackaged spice mixture. Packaged spice mixture, where you can just put it in the coffee filter and then pour our wine, the red wine, into the coffee pot. That would use up the Sutter home wine and run it through. Home wine and run it through. Third option would be to combine our own spices, and that's actually cheapest, combine our own spices from Sendex. And use the Sutter home. And use the Sutter home.
You got it.
Look at me, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
Don't
and
drink
then I guess
anymore.
then we could decide just before if we're gonna have.
And I think those are
Yeah.
health department questions too, because I don't know, health department questions too, because I don't know, are we allowed to mix our own spices or?
I think so. I think just when you're cooking like meat or something, you need a commercial kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I told her about the coffee trucks were coming, she says, yeah, because when I told her about the coffee trucks were coming, she says, yeah, we just have to make sure that they had running water. She didn't care about. She said, we don't really check anything with coffee.
Because there's not a lot of spices to it. Otherwise, you end up buying a bag, which is like way more than we're gonna need. And there's not a lot to it. Plus, the recipes that I was looking at would cut the wine with. They recommend. Oh goodness, I'd have to look it up again. But I remember cranberry juice that gets added to the wine.
Hey.
Someone's been
Is
busy.
it over? Is it over?
No, I'm good.
Shucks.
I'm late.
He was hoping.
I'm here. Sorry.
No, we're
Nope.
Busy. Busy.
Anything we got to worry about
No.
when we go to our car? Okay.
No. Just lots of calls for service.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
So sorry for interrupting. I apologize for being
no
late.
worries.
we covered we covered the 4th of July, mostly everything involved with that.
And did say she got both sides.
I'm asking for both sides.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a crapshoot and they decide
Right.
if the state allows us. But
Right. Like we did last year. I think
Yeah.
that worked well.
I'm planning for both sides because we're only gonna have one way in. So
Okay.
only way they're gonna be able to get in is from Highway 100 and Loomis, last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not gonna be able to get in from Forest Hill.
Right.
So they're gonna have to come all the way around. That way we can stick them on the other side, on the westbound side. And they're kind of out of the mix and having to plow through everybody down the middle.
Okay.
So I'm planning for both sides, but
I think it went well last year.
No, until
When we get closer, I just remembered I do want to add a map online about where people can park, if you can help me with that.
yeah.
Okay.
I would think that would be very helpful.
Because people now are like online, got to know all about it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
back to
That
work.
works.
I bring it up all the time. I wish we could have people park on Drexel.
You
know,
want
they
the
cut that
Loomis.
whole- Not
Drexel,
on
I
Loomis,
think, yeah,
no.
oh, I think Drexel would be tight with cars and then
Drexel.
people running all over. Oh,
Mhm.
God. I think Drexel would be tight with cars and then
Drexel.
people running all over. Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Because you go to Greenfield and they park on Layton Avenue, on both sides of Layton Avenue.
That's true.
I don't think Drexel's big enough though. Layton Avenue is a
Yeah.
very big road. Drexel doesn't have the space if you've got cars on both sides, and then the Drexel doesn't have the space if you've got cars on both sides, and then the parade going up Drexel, and now you got to stick people on there. And
I mean, after the parade, yeah. No, that's true.
I really think the issue is if we just had a map that said, here's where you can park ahead of time. That said, here's where you can park ahead of time.
Yeah, we
People
just
would be
don't have
less
enough room.
discouraged.
Most of them have been, most are coming back, have been there.
And maybe
you know.
putting down where all the roads are closed and how to
Yeah.
get around. Because sometimes people just aren't aware of those side streets you can go down.
put that
Just aren't aware of those side streets you can go down.
in the newsletter before that goes out, if that's all set up.
The next,
But I
the
remember
newsletter
The
right
next one
before
would be,
end.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when the next that newsletter comes out prior to the 4th.
Right, but
Comes out in June.
Does it come out in June?
Yeah.
There's one in March.
Right, but
Comes out in June.
Does it come out in June?
Yeah.
There's one in March that's.
One in March,
To where you
coming
can
up in
park.
the next couple
Oh,
of
If
weeks.
you drop people
And
off.
in June.
Because a lot
Okay.
of the
If
parents.
you had a
drop
map,
off
a
here.
diagram of
We have for the
roads
cheerleaders,
closed,
they said
times roads closed,
go and meet in the
easiest
police parking
paths
lot,
to
but
get
you can't
somewhere.
park there. So you had to have somebody
You know.
drive off
So if
there.
we-
easiest
Parking
paths
lot,
to
but
get
you can't
somewhere.
park there. So you had to have somebody
You know.
drive off
So if
there.
we have a
And
parade
then
at
where
1
do you
o'clock,
park? And
children's
then where
at
do you go?
12:30,
Right.
what
Do later.
time would we
So,
close? Like
Maybe we can
11?
put that on the next agenda.
So you're looking for a later parade. So looking back here, last year, We did our briefing at 8:30.
For the next agenda.
We were out to position by
add
9,
Parking, talk about parking map.
Yeah.
closing by
Please. Thank you.
9:30.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
and 9:30.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
and children's parade was 10:30 because
Mhm.
we kind of ran it based on foot traffic. Because
Okay.
I worked the 4th. I ran the parade on the law enforcement side. So I was director of things. So we were kind of running on base of foot traffic. And then it took some time because we had DPWs out there with all their trucks, but we were moving all the barricades, set the barricades up, and the problem we ran into is DPW was moving trucks before we had roads shut down. So there was a lot of miscommunication there. So I think this year we do a double shut down the barricades and then throw their trucks out.
Okay.
So we only had a couple of us that were doing certain barricaded spots, and that took a few minutes.
Okay.
So we talk shut down about an hour to an hour and a half before the start of the children's parade. So you're talking, so probably between 11 and 11:30 is probably road shut down.
That would work well. Okay.
Just going off prior years,
Okay.
because that foot traffic really picks up
Yeah.
within that last hour before the parade.
Okay. Okay. That would work.
So yeah, plan on the front side of being overcautious and saying plan on roads being closed by 10 or 10:30.
10:30. Okay.
You know, if you put it that way and people see it, they know to really avoid that space.
Okay.
So then even if they show up at 10:30 and the roads don't close for another half an hour, they've lucked out.
Did you say by 10 or 10:30?
So
For this one being
12:30, it would
12:30.
probably be 11:30. Between 11 and 11:30 would probably be road close.
If I say 11, that would be best?
That would probably be best, yeah.
Okay. If, hypothetically, I drop my kid off at the...
You probably won't get to the police station because they'll probably put another DPW truck on Forest Hill at Schleter or Legend.
Okay.
Legend. I think it's Legend. Yeah.
so
Legend.
they can't drop. They won't be able to drop off. Last year they did.
Mm-hmm.
That would have drop off. I don't remember how they did it.
I
Because-
remember dropping off and being in a car and stopping on the side of the road and making my cheerleaders run across the street.
Because you were on Loomis. You stopped on Loomis, right?
Right. On the street that was still open, but
Yep.
the other side was not open and you couldn't get anywhere else. So
Right.
that was the
So it's
problem.
going to have to be that yelled at by the officers that are standing there to drop
Oh,
them
yeah.
off. Because
Sorry.
the problem
I know better.
the problem we run into is that the traffic's still flowing and everybody's pulling over, and that's the thing that we try to avoid is
You got kids
having
everywhere.
people stopping on that roadway when
Right.
there's still cars coming westbound.
So is there an ability to tell people where to drop off people
If you're coming
versus
to the parade, if you could drop them off on Forest Hill, I mean, you're gonna have to drop them off at that DPW truck though, and then they're gonna have to walk
Walk
out.
in,
But you're
right.
walking the parade anyway, a couple extra feet ain't gonna kill.
right? But what if they're little kids?
Yeah,
What if
about
it's
the
my
kids parade, though?
6-year-old?
What about the kids parade? Yeah.
John will carry the,
Year-old.
What about the kids parade? Yeah.
John will carry the.
See, the problem that you run into is people are going to start showing up probably earlier, because right now we were running a 10:30 start of children's parade. People are getting out there, setting up at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Some people before that. Now you put up at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Some people before that. Now you push your parade back to 1 o'clock. People are still going to show up at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Set up their tents. Take out, yeah. Now we've added some more free beer time out in the open here.
Yeah,
So I don't. There may be a out in the open here.
yeah.
So I don't. There may be a possibility that we're going to shut down eastbound Loomis at 10 o'clock. There's a chance if we see foot traffic showing up. Now this is adding more.
Yeah.
This is adding a twist on the law enforcement side here of getting people. This is adding a twist on the law enforcement side here of getting people to come in and work it, because you had all the third shifters that would just stay over
Oh.
and work
okay.
till the parade's over at 1 o'clock and get relieved, go home, come back at 9 o'clock the 4th of July for the fireworks. Now this is going to be a little different because the fireworks are the 4th of July for the fireworks. Now this is going to be a little different because the fireworks are the night before. So it's hard to judge what we're going to see here because now we're going to have the third shifters all coming in earlier to work the fireworks and the festival. On that firework night on the 1st, the fireworks and the festival. On that firework night on the 1st, they'll work their 12-hour shift, go home at 8 o'clock. A lot of them won't be able to come back at noon or 10 o'clock to work this, and now it's going to be the second shifters coming in earlier, and the day shifters getting help there. And like any other department around the place, staffing is a struggle. Okay, so it's tough, but it sounds like our detectives are willing to pick it up and come in and work too. But there's nothing guaranteed on what's going to happen. You're making an assumption.
Yeah.
Making an assumption on it. Guaranteed on what's going to happen. You're making an assumption.
Yeah.
Making an assumption on it. So I can see people start to show up at normal time and get their drink on. I really do.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
9
and
in
then
the
play
morning.
games and have all their fun stuff.
Well,
So-
and the kids' parade will start at 12:30, but then there will be we always have a kid show put on with the kids right in front of the police station. So and all the kids in the parade show up for that.
Yep. Oh, with the DJ and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
May I ask?
And when's that going?
That's what
That'll be a half hour before, always a happy at
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock
at noon.
at noon.
Okay.
I had 11:45. I don't know why.
Well, you know what, 11:45 probably is better, you know, because he stops at probably about 12:15.
Okay.
It's a half hour kid show, so I like 11:45 better.
Okay.
I go,
Mhm.
you know, gotta have like a little time for the kids to gather. Once he does his kid show, they have to get together and get their bikes ready and all that, so it gives them 15 minutes and they all get in line and
So when we
Works
call
good.
road shutdown for shutting down eastbound for the parade route is when people start showing. We throw that DPW truck on Forest Hill. We put people out on Drexel to stop people from coming that way. We close on 83rd and Drexel, get that all shut down. So that's going to happen well in advance of the rest of the road shutdown. Now for dropping people off, the only route to really do it, because we can't send them down Legend, and that's a long hike. It is a long hike that nobody's going to be able to watch them. Now, you can tell people to come up Loomis and pull over and drop them that way, but that's really not something that we advise.
No.
So there really is no good route to do that unless you want to
Unless
push
we
them
do-
past the old folks' home and drop them
Yeah.
past the old folks' home to get to the station.
We've done that before too.
But that's much easier to park and stop. Worst case scenario is we have a squad that sits on Brentwood Park right there,
Right.
and we can usher people across
Yeah.
as need be. But
But that's where the map comes in. If that's where you want people.
or do a shuttle again from the school. Do a shuttle and have them park at the. But that's a long ways to go back.
But
now.
then how are they
Yeah.
gonna you still can't get them there?
Right.
Because
Well,
they
they-
don't let the shuttle through either.
Yeah, the shuttle's not gonna get through if the kids are.
Well, you'd have to come
parents
up
and-
here, right?
because we close off the police department
Yeah.
parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
It-
you're not
it's-
allowed to park there.
That would be a good idea though at the post office.
that might be the route where you send them down Forest Hill, down Brentwood Park, all the way around
Mm-hmm.
to the post office.
Yeah, because most of the kids are gonna
It's
be
Forest,
that way back
Forest
anyway.
Meadows, not Forest Meadows, but
And then whatever you decide, can I just have like a freehand drawn map or whatever, and then I can do the computer stuff?
Oh,
But
yeah.
even when you're talking about like the home, I can't visualize that in my head.
Brentwood?
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
it's giant.
The senior citizen home and the assisted
It's
living,
right
right next to
between
the
the-
police department.
Police department and the post office.
Yeah.
No?
No.
the old folks home.
Yeah.
It's right. It's like half a block, 2 blocks up this way.
Nope.
A bunch of old people live there. It's 2 blocks up this way.
Nope.
A bunch of old people live there. It's
They come in a bus when they come to
Assisted
the
and
election
senior
poll.
living. Yeah, some are
Assisted,
seniors.
Yeah.
some are. Yeah.
Some are assisted.
I live under a rock,
That's okay.
so I only come out once in a while.
Does she live in the kid show in the post office parking lot then? Is that what we're thinking? show in the post office parking lot then? Is that what we're thinking, or?
No, I'm still in the front lot of the
Park
police
and
department,
drop.
but I mean, it's a decent place to
Yeah.
stop and.
Yeah.
Because it's good for them to take off. They go off ahead of the. No, that
We're,
won't work.
even at that, you can get a parent that parks there and they can hoof it down there with their kid. At least it's a spot to park and not there, and they can hoof it down there with their kid. At least it's a spot to park and not get yelled at by the cops that are driving up and down Loomis, shooting people out of there. Because there's really no other. There's no other good spot, to be honest with you. Because you can tell from personal experience, getting yelled at is never. You can tell from personal experience, getting yelled at is never fun. That they,
No, I didn't get
especially
yelled at last time, but
especially the ones on the motorcycles. They're the ones that get you. Yeah. Because we give them
always get new-
specific orders. Nobody stops on Loomis. If they stop, you need to tell them they got to get moving. Because, and you don't need somebody to
45.
stop on the wrong side of the road and send their kid across, and there goes the rest of the parade for everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the big talk. Or someone stops on the side and then rear-ends them and turns into a careening into the people that are there.
Right.
So, and we try to slow them down when they're coming down that way, but that road doesn't get complete.
And you always have, and with these parents too of these kids, they get older and they graduate, and then new ones come in that have never done it before, 4-year-olds or what, 5-year-olds, and they're the first time doing it, so they have no idea, they have no clue.
would you ever allow for them to come down Loomis the one way, that the drop off, and then have them keep going through like that post office area? I mean, to just
Post road.
have a route?
Turn.
Do you know what I
They were
mean?
letting people turn in, but that was early.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can get in to go down to the post office, that they can allow people to go by.
There, the road was closed right there, so
Yep,
there was
the
an officer
turnaround
there.
was, yep.
So, would you ever allow them to go back out that way?
So if,
But I suppose
if,
you can still continue on.
so if it gets to the point and we make this decision, like,
Mhm.
hey, this is going to be our route for drop off,
Mhm.
we brief it that way,
Okay.
and
Mhm.
we brief it that way,
Okay.
and we set it up that way that we're going to do this. That cars are going to be coming down Loomis to drop off kids for the kids parade, and they're going to turn on Brentwood Park,
Mhm.
drop off so kids can go that way, and then send them out Brentwood Park.
Right, right.
So we could control that,
Mhm.
not just let anybody do it, but
Right.
control. We could control that,
Mhm.
not just let anybody do it, but
Right.
control it for drop off. You know what I mean? But
think
again,
that
you're
might
still
be
dropping off at a
really good.
distance,
Right. You're not on the main road.
right? So if, as long as the parents, again,
Yeah.
all parents here or been parents,
Mhm.
you want to know what's happening and
Right.
not be, or been parents,
Mhm.
you want to know what's happening and
Right.
not be left in the dark. Like,
That's what I would be asking.
so
is if-
if you're creating this, that, all right, any kid participating in the kids parade, if you are not parking from somewhere else and walking up with your kid and you're dropping off,
Mhm.
this is the route to drop off.
Mhm.
So that they know when there's the distance walk from, this is the route to drop off.
Mhm.
So that they know when there's the distance walk from the post office to the
where-
police department, front lot of the police
Right.
department, which is about a block.
Mhm.
This is what's expected. You plan for it.
Right.
And we can plan for it. We put the officer there saying, there's going to be people dropping off. You're going to run control. There's going to be people dropping off. You're going to run control here for them safely to cross, so that anybody that's in the parade route, we keep that separation there and control it.
Yeah.
We can control it. Then they can send, but you can't pull in, turn around, come back out. If you're
Right.
going to pull in, you're going to go down Brentwood Park
Right.
to Forest Street back there.
I'm totally cheating and looking at
it's a
maps.
hot
and saying
mess.
No, what comes off of Forest Hill and Brentwood Park? Is that Brentwood Park all the way around there?
It says,
In front of the
zoom
post
in
office, you
that
got Brentwood. Look at this up.
I can see it, but I don't.
Now, if they're
I don't even know
on,
what
whenever that
Park
road
was
is by
all
the
the
post
way-
office.
So the
can't they
post office
drive
is
through-
Brentwood Park,
I-
Highland Park
turns in-
Avenue.
got it.
So Highland Park, yep. So you'll take Brentwood
drive
Park
through
all the
that.
way up, and then turn left where it turns into Highland Park Avenue, and take that out to Forest Hill.
And take that out to Forest Hill.
Turn right on Forest Hill to get
Yeah.
back to 76th
So-
Street. So that will be your path.
Mhm.
That it's determined.
so Loomis to Brentwood, and then follow up like this?
Mhm.
Is that,
Yep.
That would, then we know, and we can brief, and we can staff that person
Well,
there,
then
so they
we
know.
can advertise that too for all the people.
Because I didn't
Why
know we
wouldn't
could
the people
do
just
that.
try to drive through the old people's home and drop the kids off right next to.
Well, then people are parking there, and then you have all the kids that are outside in the parking lot thinking it's a parking lot.
Yeah,
That's
you
way
also
dangerous.
have the people sitting.
Through the old people's home, they got the road in there.
Yeah, there's that road that leads back out to Forest Hill,
Mm-hmm.
but that's going to be manned with some sort of cones or something
Right,
to stop people
Go in,
from.
make a U-turn and come back out and then
Is
go
that the footpath you
east
want?
on Brentwood.
The problem with that is you need to get permission from them to do
I'm
that.
just saying, I would ask them to see if they'd let us do it or not.
A lot of people that all their folks that are coming out to watch the parade
Yeah,
and watch
they're
what starts
rolling
are.
out in wheelchairs and whatnot. And
But
they
is that the
usually sit-
footpath you're recommending?
No, they could. That
The
side
road
of
on
Loomis
that
will be all
side
shut
is
down.
closed
Yeah.
already.
And there's
Oh, so
sidewalks
they could
up
go
there,
on
yeah.
Loomis, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And there's a sidewalk that runs.
I didn't know you could do
How
that.
young are the kids in the children's parade? The youngest
No,
ones?
it's good.
What?
How young are the young?
But I mean,
people in the
that's-
children's
that's gonna
parade?
be-
If it comes to an idea that you would plan for it.
Okay,
Right.
that's the thing.
So kid drop off is
Well,
right
then
about
nobody's
here.
gonna
A lot
drop
of the
kids
people
off that
who are
are
in the
3 and 4
parade
years old.
are
There better be a parent
middle
with them.
school
Yeah.
Not
Well, there
teenagers.
should be
and
parents.
They're not every
But
parent
this is where
does
the
that.
drop off is?
Well, I
When you get done with the parade,
Right,
it's
exactly.
like,
At the end of the parade, yeah.
yeah, at the end.
Oh, really? Who finds them? Do they find people or you just let them go and they're done?
Yeah.
Let them go and they're done. Yeah.
Jesus.
And then
Keep that. I don't want that.
I go till they go. Once they go, I'm not in charge anymore.
Okay,
Then I'm in
that's
charge
good.
of flags.
Yeah, add that because I think that'd be a good drop off. That'd be perfect.
The map, or,
Mhm.
Yeah. If we know and we can plan for it, we can plan for it.
Okay. 'cause
So
then
that they
I
know
can
we can
leave
move
that.
barricades there, and if people know that they're doing that, then we
Okay.
can probably barricade off the parade participants. So throw barricades to the parade participants so that you know that the path is there, so we can control
Oh,
the
okay.
parade participants not being in that spot. So if we know they know where they're going and they're going, participants not being in that spot. So if we know they know where they're going and they're going to the first 15, 20 spots or whatever it is before then, we can get them in,
Yeah.
but throw those barricades up so that as they come through, it's a safer
Oh,
path.
Okay.
but to clarify, you want them walking on Loomis, right? Because I can do a
Or the
footpath.
sidewalk. There's the sidewalk that's right
Well,
there.
you want them walking on Loomis, right? Because I can do a
Or the
footpath.
sidewalk. There's the sidewalk that's right
Well,
there.
Okay, there's a sidewalk, okay.
There's
Yes.
But I mean,
one of the two. Whether it's the sidewalk or the roadway should be blocked off by that point that the kids are getting dropped off. The eastbound
I would
traffic.
advocate for the sidewalk, I didn't know
Mhm.
there was one there.
Mhm.
But that you want them walking along, advocate for the sidewalk, I didn't know
Mhm.
there was one there.
Mhm.
But that you want them walking along the Loomis route, right?
To get yes.
For
To
footpath.
get to the police station.
Because
Yep,
I'll
to get
just
to the
mark
police
it
station. Yep.
on
To
the
get to the
map.
police
Yeah.
station.
Okay.
The other kids that'll be dropped off will go right onto the street.
To their parade
Yes,
spot.
to their spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Their parade
Yes,
spot.
to their spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of
Then I
labeled
can
with a
add
number and
that.
a cone.
Yeah. I'll add that with their instructions, and they'll know where to go. But
If I
some
was
of them,
dropping
they
the
gotta
kid off
tell
for
the
the
kids.
Christmas, for the kids parade, do I go down Forest Hill to that first street before you get to that first street before you get to the police station, and drop them off, and they don't have that far to go either.
That's an option.
They
But
get there.
but the problem is you got to do U-turn there.
You gotta do a
How do they
turn.
get on?
Because
Or you gotta
can't-
turn on that street, right,
Yeah, and then go do a turnaround in that neighborhood and then come back out.
yeah, street, right,
Yeah, and then go do a turnaround in that neighborhood and then come back out.
yeah.
I think
This
it's
would be
better
the
to
suggested.
keep it
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
This is the route you want to do.
Very local.
I think the people who know the neighborhood will probably still do that, but the people who,
Don't,
might not,
You
or are
you
new
hand this
to
you
it,
hand this out to the people that are involved with it and say
might not,
you
or are
you
new
hand this
to it.
you hand this out to the people that are involved with it and say this is the parade, the children's parade drop off route. This is the
Right.
Would you object to it being posted on the website or in the newsletter? Or
no. I would
Okay.
I would push for that. I would push
Okay.
for that. That I would
Okay.
I would push for that. I would push
Okay.
for that. That's that information
Yeah.
dump that you want to get it out to people. So if this is what you guys choose as what you're gonna do, you'll have our support. We'll put the person that's in that spot on Brentwood Park that they know this is what's coming, so they can plan for it. Not standing there and going, oh well, holy crap! All these cars are coming. What am I supposed to do with these people? They can't come this way. So if we do the briefing and say, this has been determined as the parade drop-off route for the children's parade. This isn't for anybody that wants to come get here and park, because we still allow
Right,
people
you can't
to,
park here.
we still allow people that live in to get in. We still let them through. We still have to let them through because they reside there. They know it's coming, but once the road gets shut down in both directions, if that's what happens, don't matter where you live, you're not coming in.
Yeah.
Because you had your chance, you knew about
Yep.
this, it's been published, and you've gotten letters, everything else. But it's meant as the drop-off route. Are you dropping somebody off? No, I'm just trying to get through. No, if you're getting through, you're going that way. Dropping off is this way.
Right.
So
There you go.
We have to have little people in the car to get through.
expect. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping you can drop off for anybody in the parade, right? Like a cheerleader
Yeah.
or a
Oh, yeah.
band's
Yeah.
member or,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Up to the drop-off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would suggest that. Yeah.
That'd be good.
You
So
know what
that,
I'm
that
gonna-
officer that's there, officer or auxiliary, they know, hey, this is what we're going to do. Put the barricades, block off the parade participants that are here. They're going to be driving through this direction to drop people off.
And maybe we tell them their drop-off's only open until this certain time and then it's closed. So get here during that.
I think they dropped concrete barriers
Yes.
on Brentwood Park there. So that would have to be something that we planned for, to be some sort of offset serpentine, or just one concrete barricade and use the squad car as the other one. Because that was the whole idea of, I think they dropped concrete barriers anywhere.
I don't think so
On
either.
Brett, no,
No,
they had
they
the
did
truck
DPW
on Loomis,
trucks.
and they had,
They
I
had
saw
another
the
one.
squad, but I didn't
They had a
see
squad,
the-
and I think they had another DPW truck, so that's easy.
Okay.
Trucks can get moved, vehicles can get moved. They don't unman them. Wherever there's a truck, there's a DPW worker with that truck. They don't drop it and leave.
Yeah, can't get a
Okay.
new truck.
I
You don't
wouldn't
want
know
those
how to
trucks.
drive one of those anyway.
So I'm gonna alert Brentwood Park too, I think, too, and let them know
Need to,
what's going
absolutely,
on.
absolutely. Again, information.
Okay. We covered all that, then we were covering our plan for a holiday event, and I think that was even harder. Was that harder even to man versus the regular parade?
Different challenges.
Yeah,
Different challenges, yeah.
because just anything, we're,
We think back to December for issues. We've been having staffing issues since middle of last year, and it's gotten worse. It's starting to get better, so my belief is it'll be much better by the time December rolls around this year.
But we're having a parade early, we're gonna have it the weekend of Thanksgiving.
So that's where I'm coming in to throw some
No.
thoughts on this. Okay, from my captain who discussed this, there's going to be staffing issues. You start talking about Thanksgiving weekend, it's going to be a known issues. You start talking about Thanksgiving weekend, it's going to be a known staffing problem for us between police and DPW when we come to hunters. A lot of avid hunters between police, fire, and DPW. Okay? They have a lot of people that take days off. Okay? They have a lot of people that take days off. And we, already not knowing that this wasn't here, couldn't reserve days. So we have Thanksgiving is a below minimum day for us as planned. Black Friday is another one. Okay? We can't freeze our staffing. We've already is another one. Okay? We can't freeze our staffing. We've already had people that have taken vacation and put us at our minimums or below because of the way we took vacation. So we already have a staffing crunch that day. And then to fill overtime spots for it is going to be a harder crunch because there's a lot of people that aren't going to be around.
This was the November 25th. That's
Yeah.
just that Saturday, so it wouldn't be that Friday at all.
Right? But we've
It's
got
still-
hunters. That's
that's
still
still
a
the
hunting
second
weekend.
weekend,
Yep,
yeah.
it's still hunting weekend. We have a lot of people that take that full week.
Is that the final week?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So it goes from
That's 10
before
whole-
Thanksgiving.
If it were December, that first week in December, you think that would be easier for you?
It would be better on staffing levels, but so I'm not 100% familiar with the whole after action report from the Waukesha incident. They moved away from that weekend because of problems that they had. Okay,
Moved away from which weekend? I'm sorry.
that weekend after Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
I didn't know
they
that.
pushed back because of their after action report talking about nicer weather, more people being out, more traffic, more issues that comes with that kind of situation. I believe their after action report is available to look it up too. That's another thing. I'm not 100% familiar with it. Okay, that would be a nice thing for my captain to be in on and get more in-depth knowledge on that. But from our command staff, we don't support the parade festival on that weekend because of those issues. We know that it's a staffing problem. We know that there's people going to be gone. Then the next question comes in, if you're planning on doing more than that, if you're talking about doing your day-long festival with drinking and everything else, are you looking for a police presence there on the grounds and what you're going to need from us? Again, staffing problem, known problem that we have. I think you guys are talking about alcohol sales as well. I'm not talking 25 officers covering the grounds, but a couple is still a concern that we have. So from us, we don't really support that weekend. Now, when we look at a different weekend, it might be a different situation. But from pushed away from because of other concerns that departments have.
So between November 25th or December 2nd, without, what I'm hearing is you would prefer the first weekend of December versus.
It would be better compared to no
I'm just a
staffing
little
problems.
slow. I need
No,
clarification.
You're good. No, it's a good question. It's a very good question. Excuse me. The December would be a better time
Okay.
that we don't have that known staffing issue.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know what DPW looks like, but I can only imagine that they're doing more.
Yeah.
Last weekend
Yeah.
in November
That one
is
is
the
the
25th.
Yeah.
25th,
Either that
right.
or the 2nd is what I was asking. Maybe
Okay.
I didn't. Maybe I.
No.
Was,
You
I-
said
I-
last weekend in November versus the first weekend in December.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were saying something about, I thought I heard you say there was another weekend in November, and
Oh
there's
no.
not.
No.
Okay. December 2nd.
Thank
Got
you.
it. Just making sure.
Okay. And are you still looking at doing that sort of festive grounds kind
We
of?
were just
That's
starting
what
to
just
talk
covered.
about
Just
that.
trying to
Okay.
discuss it there.
So I guess where I stand on that.
Just trying to
Okay.
discuss it there.
So I guess where I stand on that is parades are great, but they cost money and they don't bring in any money. I struggle with asking for tax dollars for an event that doesn't service the whole city. For an event that doesn't service the whole city, or at least try to attract them, or try to bring in some revenue. So what I was thinking is, and this is where he's going to grab the Nerf balls and start throwing them at me. What I was hoping we could do is balls and start throwing them at me. What I was hoping we could do is something and phase it out. I can't say like how big because I don't know what the interest would be, but try to add a market where we have the food on Legend Drive in the summer. Add a market there, and I already have a summer. Add a market there, and I already have a draft. So it's kind of cool that he's here. A draft of the rules, vendor rules. If you want, I can read through that real quick. But I'd like to try to get as many vendors as possible to hopefully generate a little bit of revenue.
And how would you generate the revenue? By charging them
Yeah.
for spots?
They rent the spots, and
Okay.
instead of, like, oh, I'm a vendor, I pay this flat fee. Instead of, like, oh, I'm a vendor, I pay this flat fee. I'm going to take 3 spots. No, you take 3 spots, you pay 3 times. So you're renting the space. And it's made very clear to them that they have to bring all their own stuff. Well, clear to them that they have to bring all their own stuff. Well,
So we would do a market instead of, and then not have a parade?
no, what I'm visualizing is Santa at the library, because that's for 8 and younger if you're gonna pick
Yeah.
numbers. Because that's for 8 and younger if you're gonna pick
Yeah.
numbers. the market, which, I don't know, you guys tell me the time. I was thinking like noon to 5.
4 or 5.
4?
It's dark at 5, so you'd want at least 4:30 cut off,
Okay.
I would think.
Red. Even though, like you mentioned, alcohol, in my mind, I'm not visualizing like the 4th of July, the summer is like the big party scene. What I'm visualizing more, I called it a Christmas cafe, and I'm calling it a Christmas cafe. The focus is hot chocolate, coffee, like a peppermint tea, but if somebody wants some other tea, that, you know, have maybe a mulled wine there, but I'm visualizing at best 1 coffee pot. I don't think we sell more than that in that regard.
It's over 5 hours. And
Yeah.
now if it's in December, if it's super, cold, snow,
Could be anything at that time.
yeah.
I did inquire about heat. When I called, he did warn me that if they are not weighted properly, they can be pulled over by wind, which really frightened me. So then I started looking around for the table. They're lower.
No flame of any kind. When we wanted to do last time. No, that was fire pits, barrels, things like that. I don't know how he'll be with the heaters like that, but.
Yeah. I did write him. He said if it's UL listed, used within the guidelines, then it would be okay. What I'm hoping for, then it would be okay. What I'm hoping for, knock on wood, say prayers, is that maybe we can find a sponsor to bring those in exchange for advertising. I'm hoping. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm hoping. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But at least that would be someplace warmer for people to sit. I'm thinking maybe some kind of, just right in front of where people are, not like randomly spread out.
Where did you first see this market? Where did you first see this market to be?
Over on the pavilion grounds.
Yeah, but we
Okay,
use
so
one of our
where
main
we
tents.
normally do the.
Yeah.
Where the food court
Okay.
usually
Okay.
is. Yeah, and then like have the cafe, the back part of Legend, the back part of Legend Pavilion, have those bathrooms open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to find out if they.
Those are, they'll be winterized, but you'll have to ask DPW if we can.
But
I'll
if we
check
can
that
rent
out.
it, wouldn't they open it? That's why I was
I
saying
don't think
rent
that
it.
one's open.
If we can rent it, wouldn't they open it? That's why I was
I
saying
don't think
rent
that
it.
one's open in the
Necessarily,
winter.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Whenever
better
done.
check on the pavilion.
Okay.
Because now we're moving it back into December now, so,
Yeah.
further back we move, it might close at a certain time. Further back we move, it might close at a certain time. So I'll check on that.
I'm gonna say we don't know.
The other option is to move it earlier, before hunting season.
And have it before Thanksgiving.
Well, it would have to be
That's
2
a week.
weeks.
And have it before Thanksgiving.
Well, it would have to be
That's a
2
week.
weeks before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. You're talking like the whatever that is, like in the 10th area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
Do
I
you
would
think-
say we do the market and no parade then.
The 11th, all the vendors will be, or that 2 weeks before, they're already committed. Because
Veterans
there's a
Day.
huge craft fair.
The 11th of
Oh,
November
yeah,
is
that-
on a Saturday is Veterans Day.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
want that.
So it would have to be the week before if we did that.
You're talking then the 4th of November, and I don't know how many people. My Christmas stuff is up by then, but not everybody is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many
Mine
people
was
would be.
December
Thanksgiving,
1st.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that
Mine
was
too,
also.
yeah. December
Oh,
10th
we
usually.
do it like November 1st.
Okay.
We're setting stuff up, but we're different. So I don't know.
We're talking trick or treat at that time.
Mhm.
That's right, they have to.
Yeah.
At that point.
That's true.
I think I truly think you push people come on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, they're still in Thanksgiving harvest mode. Most people hit December 1 and they flip to Christmas mode. But it all comes down to the plan of whatever you're going to do, because then you need DPW involvement to, especially if you've got vendors that are going to be showing up. They're not going to show up at 12 o'clock for it starting at 12 o'clock. They're going to be getting there plenty of time beforehand. So DPW is going to have to get the vehicle traffic, because right now we do a parade that starts at 3 or 4 o'clock. We're setting up, shutting the road down at 2 o'clock. Now you want to get people in at 12 o'clock, that road's going to have to get shut down before that. So that's just working with DPW on getting that happening. But and then from us for police presence there, obviously the parade is one thing, get the roadway. It'll make it much quicker if that road's already partially shut down because of the vending going on.
And if we have a snowstorm and they plow that Legend Drive, isn't there a pile of snow on each side of the road then?
Snow is just.
Johnson wants the black snow after it's been there for.
But originally, when I was thinking about this, because the Historical Society would still have the live performances in the historical area, what I was hoping for was or people in that range, but I'm struggling finding something. I found something, but it's with Music on the Move, and they have not called me back. And I figure after calling them once a week for 4 weeks and sending an email at the end, figure out.
Old or wide?
What if we kept it for that weekend of Thanksgiving and no parade, just have the market? We could use 2 officers, if even. Auxiliary even.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That might give us a chance to build a fund for the parade for next
And
year.
not have a parade.
Manpower heavy.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we get DPW involved with the trucks and shutting down Drexel and all that kind of good stuff. I think we had 6 or 8 officers and a supervisor last year, and then on top of that a handful of 10 or 5 or 6 auxiliaries.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct.
Yeah, we got the bill.
Yeah, I know, and it's because we had to get people in on overtime before shift started, then use them, and then day
That's
shift
why.
hanging over, and so it's a double whammy of overtime from where it was at time-wise, because from our shift change at 4
Now
o'clock.
that you explained it.
From where it was at time-wise, because from our shift change at 4
Now
o'clock.
that you explained it, yeah.
Yep. So we pull an entire day shift to handle it and have them stay. That means we have to bring in all of early shift or second shift to cover the road of the people that aren't there. Or you bring in all of second shift a couple hours load of the people that aren't there. Or you bring in all of second shift a couple hours early to go man the parade and shut it down. And then we got a whole day shift over to fill the road until second shift's done. That's why the problem you see.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
costs us like $120 an officer, I think, to put them out there, because.
Overtime and benefits.
And benefits, put them out there, because.
Overtime and benefits.
And benefits, we pay benefits too, I was gonna say, now it adds up to, not all going to the officer, obviously.
A good handful of dollars, yep.
85 vendors to cover the salaries.
So,
It's a lot of
but
vendors.
that's parade. Parades are expensive to,
It's a lot of
but
vendors.
that's parade. Parades are expensive to make it safe. Now you probably get a bill from DPW too for their people to be there.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And they're doing the same thing at time and a half. Okay?
Let's try something different.
So, if you did a marketplace like that, that means being able to shut the road down and use it's just their concrete barriers, and at a certain time, so you know when your vendors can get in, or the alternating thing, and then to determine we're going to have to obviously have some sort of uniformed officer up there to supervise, and if it's manned with auxiliaries, they are a volunteer program. That's a possibility. But you don't know what you're going to have doing something new. You don't know what you're going to have for attendance, for parking
Right.
issues. And if you do it where you do it in that section in front of the Historical Society, you can use the library as parking. You can use the front lot of City Hall as parking and block off a certain section.
Not the front
So,
to Did you really?
Well,
Yeah, we were gonna do
we
tree
were all
lights
in
too.
front.
But I remember Mr. Lucky said he wanted the entrance from Loomis Road to the back lot of City Hall for the performers and the Historical Society people.
And that's
Well, then you shut down the parking lot of City Hall.
banks and all the
No, but I
other
mean,
lots.
he wanted the Loomis Road access to the back of City Hall.
Makes sense.
Okay.
For the
Yeah, we
parade
were-
route, I think
yeah.
very different with everything they were doing too, because again, the parade shuts down a lot of stuff to make it safe.
What about, this just popped into my head, like a kids parade from the library?
I don't think we'd have much.
Okay.
It's
okay.
cold and these kids are all bundled up in blankets. They're not going to be warm.
I like the diversity of the events.
Or have something there for the kids. Have like the reindeer petting zoo type thing or something for smaller kids. That way, the expense of the thing for smaller kids. That way, the expense of the 2,000 or whatever they cost, we'd have to rent them now, but have reindeers there. And you can have Santa Claus right there.
And
There-
people can come and go.
And they have things that you can set up for the kids that you can take pictures in front of. And they have things that you can set up for the kids that you can take pictures in front of.
There you go. Or whether it's
Right.
blow up objects to
Yeah.
take pictures in front of, and greeting with Santa Claus to take pictures, or if you turn it into a marketplace, a DPW police costs will drop dramatically. They will, because like I said, parades are expensive
Yeah.
for manpower to make it safe.
We could. It's an experiment. We're gonna have to try something different. That's all. And it's so damn cold. I mean, it's
I
ridiculous.
like the idea of building some capital that could be used.
And then we can bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still sold on not doing it that Thanksgiving weekend, but the week after. I think just
Well, here, let me ask
throw the dice
this.
for 1 week.
Like the calendars?
Yeah.
December 1st.
Yeah, when you start like pulling the candies out of the calendars, is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
It's a 30 days a
Yeah.
calendar. It's a 1 month.
December 1st, yeah.
December 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. If because what I wanted to do, if this were to go at different woodworker type people too, I'm thinking of like a chest, and when I say chest, it's like a size of a piece of paper basically that has little drawers in it. An advent calendar. It has like 24 or 25 little drawers in it. And what I was hoping one of these vendors to pre-sale it. Like on the description, they could pre-sale it. My idea for that was they don't have to bring so much inventory. They're selling it ahead of time. The delivery occurs at the market. That's an incentive for people to come pick it up in the market. That's what I was thinking.
And then we'd have to have it the week before because you don't want it on the 1st.
That's why I was asking, because I'm
But
sorry.
then you got to watch how you market it because then you got religion in here. So
Do you have vendors that are actually interested in coming to this already lined up, or?
I've talked to people a while ago,
Okay.
and I don't know at this point. To be honest with you, if you were going to ask me, is there anybody that would sign up? I'd have to say I have no idea,
Okay.
because I don't know at this point.
That's
Because I
going to
haven't.
be a hard one if it's outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's,
people.
I don't know at this point
That's
because I
going to
haven't.
be a hard one if it's outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's-
people that they're going to want to sell items, and you don't really want to have it outside for.
And that was
Some sort.
actually the reason why I contacted the chief, because I had one woman tell me, she goes, "Oh yeah, I make a killing before Christmas." There were a few people that told me that.
Well, they do.
Oh yeah, I make a killing before Christmas. There were a few people that told me that.
Well, they do. They do.
And she's like,
Indoor.
"It's no." She didn't care.
She
She
is
goes, "I have a
outdoor
portable
events, yeah.
heater."
Oh my
She's
gosh.
got a camping heater that she puts on the top of a propane tank.
Oh.
And I'm like,
She might want to make it, but you're not going to want to make it. The buyer is a buyer. You might want to make it, but you're not going to want to make it. The buyer is a buyer going to want to make it.
okay.
But there's a lot. But that weekend traditionally has been nice.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not been below
And
zero. And
You're moving around
50
when you're
mile an
walking
hour
through a
winds.
market. It's not like you're standing waiting.
Yeah,
Waiting.
yeah.
And if I can get some kind of heat source to make it a little cozier, I just really wish I could do something for the older kids. And what I wanted to do was virtual reality, but and I don't know that it's really what we want. So I don't know. You have kids? Do you have any ideas?
I really think more of an interactive kind of fun thing will get kids of all age ranges from the meet and greet.
They like taking selfies.
Yeah, so like that kind of stuff, whether it's
Like a
you know,
photo cutout or something? you
like
can stick
different,
your face
different like
Maybe.
people dressed up as elf or elves or different kind of
They have
interactive
that, yeah.
things like that. I don't know if like and this is just from me, from my personal knowledge, I don't know is the route. I'm almost thinking you do your food, your drinks, you do your plaything Santa, whether it's some sort of petting zoo or not petting zoo, or some sort of interactive, like you look, or different light shows if somebody has some sort of like, if you have the area out that, if that's, look at different light setups, but that might be expensive, and you know, because kind of like your China lights or something like that gets very long, but
Yeah, see, I understand we're looking at stuff that generates revenue.
Mhm,
The
you're
city
spending
right
money,
now
yeah.
Budget's zero for this, so
Yeah.
we're all on our own on this.
Well,
That's-
if we do go, we go.
On this.
Well, if
That's-
we do go, we go at, not, we could go ask for money for it too. That's on the, financing thing, go to the city and ask them for money.
I think if you start talking about cost analysis of this, cost analysis of this, the cost of a parade is extremely expensive, and you have the bills from prior years to show how expensive police, fire, and DPW is to man a 20-minute parade. Is to man a 20-minute parade with a tree lighting. Is you're talking cost is way up here, and where's your attendance to show this? The year with the dancing grannies, the first year that I did the parade with you guys, was a massive amount of people.
Yeah.
But it was
For that
for a
reason.
reason that they were
Yeah.
there. That was the first one they were doing. So that's where you start looking at that the cost was good because you had such a
That's my thing. To get the people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So compared to last year,
Yeah.
I wasn't here, but I heard it wasn't
very quiet.
wasn't very well attended. So
My
now
kids
your
sat in
cost
the
is
car.
there.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
We are the only city that charges these festivals like the 4th of July and stuff for their police and DPW.
These here won't make that decision for you, so I've got zero pull to help on any sort of change with that.
It's not you,
It
it's
is
just
what it
Bowen, I don't
is.
know if
But I
you're
have a
around for
whole
him.
theory on why it's a good thing. I'll save it for later.
So, but now you start talking about this, that if you do a market setting with food and snacks and gatherings, like the Civic celebration is a major drinking episode
That's summer.
with bands and parties, and that's the weekend for that.
Food and
This
carnival.
is, you're here to
This is
begin
home
the
for the
celebration of Christmas. Why people look at Christmas and the reason of Christmas, and I'm not going to get on the whole religious side of things and why people are doing this and what they're celebrating it for, because you can celebrate it for different reasons, but the goal of this is family, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at bringing kids and family in to start your celebration of Christmas and what the Christmas season is to you, and how you're going to take this. So you look at it as doing your kids and your family too. You're
Yes.
not you don't look at Bella Cane and go, I'm going to take my kids here. This is going to be a jam fest for my kids. They're going to have a great time. No, you look at Bella Cane and say, Mom and Dad are going to have some fun, or your family's going to have some fun, kind of thing, right? And there's the kids things for them to do at that, but this
Right. I'm envisioning, like you were just describing, the families coming together.
opportunities to come here, take your Christmas picture with your family together. This is what's going to go on your Christmas card. So you have plenty of time with all those online things now. You get a family picture, whether it's with Santa Claus, some blow up things, some Christmas scenes. But you know,
Right.
even at that, you get the opportunity to get that or
Yeah.
something.
Cell phone.
Or everybody
I know.
has their cell phone. Go
Right.
go get the money and get one of those, like all the YouTubers or TikTokers or whatever they do that they have that light up circle. You know what I'm talking about? That
I know.
The
all our kids do,
flame.
right?
It's like
And
for
it sits on a
lighting,
stand, and
yeah.
your phone goes on the other side, and it
Oh, the
but
ring light.
it projects light on
Okay.
you to give you that
gives
light,
it a
you
better
know.
look, yeah.
Or even if it's some sort of, you don't even need that. You have some spotlights that are on the ground with the colors, and then a snow scene behind you, or Christmas trees that you guys set up.
Laser show.
What do you want? You want to get people in. You want to come here, come enjoy a time with Santa Claus and do this. Get family photos in front of Christmas.
show.
Yeah, right. That'd be expensive. But I mean, you look at some people at their Christmas church setting that they go to. You get big family pictures in front of all their Christmas trees and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. Why can't you do that here and get more people here and you take cold Christmas pictures, right?
What I would like to do, if the committee agrees, is after this meeting, begin trying to recruit market vendors. I do want to go over my list, and I'm also going to ask for permission to send it through legal. I'd like to recruit vendors, see what kind of income we can generate, and then maybe we can talk about how to spend it, or what we should save for the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want my list?
Got a quick question before you jump on that.
Okay.
What about that garage space of downstairs here? Jump on that.
Okay.
What about that garage space of downstairs here? Would that be open to open the garage doors and have that be a walk-through path of some additional vendors for you? Is that
She
an
had
option?
thought about that, but I think City Hall would be.
I'm just throwing it out. I don't know what the opinion. I'm just throwing it out. I don't know what the opinion here of that would be. But I mean, if that's
But
We'd
we
have to
the
find out
barn-
what
we
City
have the
Hall
barn
would have
zone.
to, opening their building up.
Yeah.
not opening the building, just
Well, it
opening
does-
the
it
garage.
has that
Just
door.
the garage.
Right,
Yeah.
but you put somebody there that's with your group,
Yeah.
and that door gets closed, and you put somebody there that's with your group,
Yeah.
and that door gets closed, and nobody goes in there unless if they are associated with your committee, kind of thing.
Well, I thought you meant have people come in with vendors inside there.
Inside the garage,
Yeah.
just
Inside
in
the
that
garage.
loop of the garage, from one garage door to the next garage door. If somebody loop of the garage, from one garage door to the next garage door, if somebody needs to be some sort of covered space and a
We have-
premium rental space.
We have the barn though
Again,
for that.
yeah, I could look into that,
Can we?
but we're kind of.
He said, yeah.
He did say that.
The what?
Yeah.
The barn.
The barn?
Yeah.
I know that he had people in front.
The barn?
Yeah.
I know that he had people in front of
But
the
he
barn.
said, outside, but not inside. Because I
Okay.
said, couldn't we set up food and stuff in there? And he said, sure.
Oh, okay. So I'll ask him. I wanted to kind of ask him about Wheelan School, or I don't know if there's furniture in there. That's like cool. Or I don't know if there's furniture in there. That's like the one building I don't think I've been in.
The schoolhouse?
Yeah.
It's full of
Furniture,
desks.
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
And they could move those too, if they would let, but if
I've
they
never
want
seen 'em
people
moved.
in there though.
But the barn would work. A long time ago, has like the stuffed animals that you make.
Oh, like the Build-A-Bear type.
Like
Yeah.
that, yeah, but it's all different kinds, and she can do backpacks,
Yeah.
she can do all different stuff. And she said she does really well before Christmas, so
And she would probably need to be inside and with power.
no power be willing to bring. But anyway, can I run through the list? Okay, point number 1. No one associated with the event. I gotta make this bigger because I made it like a 9-point font. Because what an event,
Oh,
and then like, you know, invisible man there would go to that person and say, "Oh, we didn't get your money. You have to pay me now."
okay.
So I wanted to make it clear up front. No, point number 1, no one associated with the event will ask vendor for cash or direct you for money and or free or discounted merchandise. Please immediately contact whoever the contact is and or law enforcement. Are we okay with that? Okay. Point number 2, vendor is encouraged, not required, to include holiday lights and seasonal decor in your market display. We could get some lights that way. Point number 3, vendor will not pack up before the event closes at what time? 4? 5?
4:30.
Well, I think if you're doing that, there's some. If you're not doing a parade, and you're just doing the marketplace, you might be able to push a little bit later. And you're just doing the marketplace, you might be able to push a little bit later as it starts to get dark, but the temperature's going to.
Yeah.
As soon as
I
it
would
starts to
say
get
But
dark
would
out.
you want it to go and
Because
run
you want to do
until
the
the
tree lighting still.
You still
Yeah.
want to do the tree lighting. You want to give people
After,
opportunity.
yeah.
Some people might want to take pictures as it starts to get a little darker out. So
Okay.
you may think about a noon to 6. Get a little darker out. So
Okay.
you may think about a noon to 6 or something like that.
Well, tree lighting is at 5, right?
Yeah,
So noon to 5?
it's fine.
Okay.
Please
Please,
push people over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would push people
Mhm.
to the tree lighting,
Yep.
area.
please stay set up until close of event. Point number
Area.
Please stay set up until close of event. Point number 4, no refunds. Number 5, Civic Celebration asks for a tax, this is John, asks for a tax deductible donation equal to 10% of your net profits from this event, payable after the event, to Franklin Civic Celebration from this event, payable after the event, to Franklin Civic Celebration Commission, mailed to FCCC, donation, care of Franklin City Hall, address. Is that okay? Okay.
So they pay a rental space fee and then a donation.
And I threw it in there as tax deductible, kind of. And I threw it in there as tax deductible, kind of.
Well, and 10% is we charge 20% for vendors on the 4th, so.
Okay.
Where was I? Number 6. The city's transient merchant form is required for all. The city's transient merchant form is required for all. I was calling it Santa's Workshop and Market. Is required for all that participate in Santa's Workshop and Market. The information is confidential and may include a law enforcement background check included with the fee paid. Payment for space, background check included with the fee paid. Payment for space, $75 for a 10 by 10 area, is due with the form paid directly to the City of Franklin as noted on the form. Number 7, vendors selling any food for human consumption, spices, confections. Number 7, vendors selling any food for human consumption, spices, confections, etc. are required to have a City of Franklin Health Department inspection. The Health Department form is separate. The inspection fee is $30 payable directly to the Health Department, and the inspection will occur between 11 and noon on the day of event. Point number 8, vendors selling warm food to be consumed on site are required to have a City of Franklin Health Department inspection. The fee for this inspection is $50 payable directly to the Health Department, and the inspection will occur between 11 and noon on the day of the event. The inspector will wash required. Point number 9, if accepted, submitted pictures may be used to promote the event. Point number 10. Okay, this one I had a question on this because I gave it a bunch of asterisks. Rental fees must be paid with the acceptance. Credit card payments are charged upon acceptance with an additional 4% processing fee. City Hall told me it was 2.95, but they're employees that have to run it. Okay. Questions for after. Does the commission want to review? And then we would have to defer to cashing checks like within 90 days of receipt if we're going to review everybody. Just something to think about. Point number 11, vendor agrees to obey all posted parking signs. This includes handicap parking spaces during load in and load out. Space only, vendor agrees to bring everything needed for the booth, included but not limited to tables and chairs. Okay. Where I got these is from other people. I just Point number 13. If the vendor uses a propane heat source, then the vendor agrees to provide propane heat sources that are UL approved and used according to product guidelines are permitted. However, they may not be used within 15 feet of buildings, trees, or bushes. If a heat source expels heat near the base, then an insulation mat to protect the surface beneath is required. Obviously, that has to go through cheap.
I believe all the vendors
Yeah,
have
all
to have
vendors
insurance.
have to get a
Have to have insurance.
insurance.
Even if they don't have the propane tank, they still
Yeah.
need insurance.
Oh,
Everybody needs to provide.
Everybody, anyone that sells anything in the city.
even non-food vendors.
Yes.
Then I have to put that in here separate.
Yeah.
These for the food vendors and stuff?
Yes.
I thought they waived all those.
Just
Now,
for
food
that
vendors
one
could have to
time.
pay it.
You have to pay now?
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't in the past, that's the reason I was asking.
Yeah. They get charged.
So everybody, even if you're selling a stuffed animal, has to provide proof of life.
If they got a business, they usually have insurance and they just
Yeah,
give us their
that's true.
certificate, so
Okay.
it's not extra because they're coming
They all, you
back.
should have.
Okay. I'll
It's gotta
rework
be
that.
updated. It's gotta be,
Funny part was that when I first started the committee, the vendors that sold like the teddy bears and stuff, they needed $1 million policy. The food vendors didn't need insurance. And for the people that could like wipe out 1,000 people with poisoning, they don't need insurance. But the guy selling a T-shirt needs insurance.
Okay, this is where it starts to get sketchy and why I'm really glad law enforcement's here. As he starts to run. Law enforcement's here. As he starts to run. Okay, 15. Staking is not allowed in an outdoor show on asphalt and hardscapes. All canopies must be secured. The park is subject to winds. All canopies must be weighted down with sufficient weights. If you wish a lawn space with the weighted down with sufficient weights. If you wish a lawn space with the intent to stake your canopy, then call the contact so Digger's Hotline may be contacted. A minimum of 10 business days notice is required. Should I take that out? Yes.
Oh no, you turn it up. Do we really need the police officer?
Yeah, I do.
Or-
I do for,
yeah.
Oh no, you turn it up. Do we really need the police officer?
yeah, I
Or-
do.
or-
I do for
Yeah.
when I
Anything
get
more?
to sale of
You
guns
said
and
they were
stuff.
busy, that's why I was wondering.
No, I'm alright. We're alright right now.
Okay.
I'm almost there. All products displayed must be listed on the application. 17, vendor agrees to comply with any and all requirements of federal, state, local. 17, vendor agrees to comply with any and all requirements of federal, state, local authorities and to indemnify Franklin's Civic Celebration Commission and the City of Franklin from all liability. See why this has got to go through the lawyer? Okay, 18, no distribution of flyers, ads, etc. without. Okay, 18, no distribution of flyers, ads, etc. without approval. This rule will be strictly enforced. Violators will have seller's permit revoked immediately. I don't know why that was on a couple of other fairs, but I figure if they had it on theirs, we probably need it on ours.
They made that you're
Theirs, we probably need it on ours.
they made that you're if you're talking like places that run their own like fairs, like you're talking about that
I'm
that
looking
vintage one that's over at the sports complex. They don't want people promoting different flyers that's their own flyer kind of thing.
Okay,
Different flyers that's their own flyer kind of thing.
okay.
yeah, she went to that. She went,
Yeah.
scouted it out.
My wife sold at that before. She's
Oh, did
she's-
she? I probably
she's
have her
the-
business card then.
No, not recent. It's been a couple years since she's
Okay.
done it. Yeah.
All right. Here's where it gets. Here's where it gets. Now, bear in mind when I'm visualizing this, I'm visualizing artists selling their unique stuff, a farmer's market, like selling bison, elk. I'm hoping some good meats.
Like big cows? You're talking like we're having cows and
Just their parts.
No.
Just their parts.
it's a new way of the St. Martin's Fair. Instead of chickens, we're selling buffalo.
All right, here we go. The sale of guns, BB guns, paint guns, knives, crossbows, fireworks, alcohol, CBD, nicotine, tobacco, e-cigarettes, ammo, martial arts, betting, drug paraphernalia, and pornography is prohibited. Subversive or immoral material is not allowed.
All of us would say you don't need him for that.
That's
That's-
that's a
That's an obvious.
Okay.
I was gonna sell the CBD stuff, come on.
No games of chance, skills, lottery, raffle, and are strictly prohibited. Gambling, drinking, swearing, acts detrimental to the good reputation of the city of Franklin will result in seller's permit being revoked. I got these off of other.
But we're selling movies.
If I was a vendor reading this,
I'd say run the other way.
I'd run away.
So that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
If you are vetting and choosing and approving vendors,
Then we don't need that?
you probably don't need that.
Yes.
Because if you see someone that wants to come sell their porn or their used bed sheets, you're not gonna let, or they're together, you're not gonna
Or
take them
knock off
anyways.
Louis Vuitton?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna pick. So
Sometimes they put on one thing and they try to slip other stuff in though.
Like the
nunchucks and
Stars.
throwing stars.
Yeah, okay,
And the
so
knives that
weapons
flip,
that
yeah.
go along with it, not
No
actual
ninja stars?
martial art.
But like the
I
nunchucks.
don't know.
And what do they call the stars?
Throwing
I have
stars.
two.
Switch
We have
blades.
our own sets at home.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see.
Okay. So I'll take out those. I'm
So
glad
you're
that
just learning that karate, gee.
I know. I'm glad that you guys laughed and.
I think if you're vetting and approving them,
Mhm.
that probably isn't necessary.
Okay.
And if you're marketing it as a family selling their porn and their nunchucks aren't going to come here anyways.
Don't
Good.
do it in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, not in the bathroom either. No soliciting without permission. Seller agrees to accept and assume full liability for any loss or injury to himself, his agents, customers, employees, etc.
That's in their insurance policy. Yes.
So I can take almost. That they're responsible for their own cleaning. We do not offer vendor exclusives. We reserve the right to move spaces, but I want to let them pick their spaces too. I'll just work with them on that if you want me to do this. So I knew that would get that's the part I was like, I don't know. But I went through different vendors, different setups, and I'm like, okay, where's their terms? Copy paste and then consolidate. So consolidate. So, do you want me to try to pursue the market? And if so, can I try now so that next time we meet, hopefully I have,
Yeah, let's.
or at least by
let's
summer.
first decide on.
Hopefully I have,
Yeah, let's.
or at least by
Let's
summer.
first decide on what
Date.
based on what date.
And all the
Yes.
fancy words there, you should probably run that thing by the city attorney.
That's what I was asking. That's why I was saying,
Jesse's gotta look at it and
Lady,
get the,
What were you
the
thinking?
music on the,
Lady.
get the,
What were you
the
thinking?
music on the move at about a 19.
I still like I don't like the
Really?
Thanksgiving
No,
weekend.
we'll just rent the.
I still like the first week in December.
I do too.
So let's come up with a
You
Would
think
you guys-
first week of December?
first week of the one after
You
Would
think
you guys-
first week of December?
the one after that, right? That first week in
The second.
December.
But then we're into Advent already.
Yes.
That screws that one then.
He said it would be less of an issue.
It would be staffing wise. It should be.
Yeah.
Less
Can
of
we
an
do
issue.
November then?
That's the worst one for staffing.
No, but
If
we're
you're
not
renting
having the
this bad,
parade.
Advent shouldn't matter.
Yeah. You better find out. If,
I'd have to talk. I'd have to talk to the bosses and kind of throw that out.
yeah.
With no parade, that makes the staffing issue a lot less.
Mhm.
But you're still going to want some people up.
As long as you guys are, would say, okay, that's possible.
Yeah.
That would be the best one to do. But if not, that first week in December.
Yeah, I
See what the boss says.
Ask you to email me?
no.
Okay.
What do you got?
Franklin. And then the number 4, TH fundraising @gmail.com. My concern with trying to get this pushed out is it's been quite a while since they're booking. Because I even had somebody, when I went to the craft fair at the sports complex, she's like, I'm already booked. And she's like, I'm booked into 24, I'm booking 24 already.
Mm-hmm.
thing.
So that's kind of where I'm a little
That
hesitant
might be
or
a tough
scared.
weekend there. It might be.
The indoor firing range?
Yeah.
For what?
For citizens, they want to shoot their.
No, no.
Join the
We'll
citizens.
charge them for it.
No.
Oh, boy.
You're trying.
Yeah.
We paid for it. We paid for it.
Well, at least it made everybody laugh. Okay, you were laughing at me, not with me, but at least you laughed.
So let's go on. You did the vendors, potential revenue sources, which you did the vendors, potential revenue sources, which is the vendors. What about, and then a grant, maybe?
It depends for what.
Yeah.
I did find a grant for like if you hold community classes. So I thought that would have worked. Hold community classes. So I thought that would have worked actually for the parade on getting people supplies to build a float. But if we're not doing a parade,
Yeah.
the only other thing I can think of for grants that might work is if I can find something that's multi-generational. That might work is if I can find something that's multi-generational in activity. There's grants for that. But
Okay.
I don't even know what activities.
Right.
Family photos.
Family photos are it?
Oh.
That's all I got.
But it also
And then-
depends on financing, and the financing it depends on the market.
And the last topic is the financing. Should we ask the city for some financing?
How long can
City
I think
can't
we
do their
could wait
budget
as long
right
as
at
we
the
want.
start of
Once
the
we gotta
year.
first come up with a definite date, and then go for it. Then after that, make that.
Because I would like to wait a month or two. Is that too long to see what kind of market revenue we get?
No, I
to
don't think that's
try.
too
They-
long.
They might have their budget already done, the city though, add it to their budget. We can ask for anything, all they can do is say no.
That's true.
We don't, we got it.
And if they say no for this year, then we can say, well,
into our
this is
funds.
what we did this year. Can we please have maybe for next year? And if we can get a date for next year, like, if we can send out market notices earlier, if you want to do that, that would be ideal, because they do book like a year in advance, most of the people that I talk to. Another pre-sale item we might be able to get, the Advent person, the box mortar stores. So she missed her phone appointment. I don't even know if she knows that I have this in my head. But there is somebody that does clay ornaments.
Oh, I've seen that person. They go crazy at that vintage
That,
Recraft-
recraft and relic.
yeah.
Yep. There's
Yep.
a person that does those,
Yep.
and
And I briefly talked to her, asked her if she might do a workshop. This might be an activity where she would pre-fire like an ornament, and then people could buy it and paint it. Ask her too if she would maybe do like just one ornament to have a picture of, so people could pre-order it. Remember how we did the ornament that year? But this would be no cost to us, direct sales to her. And again, it would be something people are pre-ordering, so they'd have to come, like, that's the only event to pick it up.
Well, then we gotta settle on
Okay.
the date first.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the boss says.
I'll talk to him tomorrow, and I'll email you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, well, for then we gotta come up with a budget.
Well, if we're not asking for money though.
But we have to have DPW block off roads and whatnot,
Yeah.
put up barricades.
I'm just wondering
Usually when I
can
do a
send-
budget, I don't do police and DPW though.
But I mean, we need their help though to set the stuff up,
Yeah,
so they,
yeah.
so they'd have to know ahead of
And we
time,
need their permission
We
to
need the
even do
date.
it.
yeah.
Permission to do it, right.
we need
And
the
to see
date.
if that's open at that, yes, I'll check with Kevin and see if that would be available even. that time of year.
Because DPW is going to be hunting, you know that.
Okay, now I missed the first.
I'm sorry.
Time of year.
Because DPW is going to be hunting, you know that.
Okay, now I missed the first.
I'm sorry.
I missed the first two events. What is the common council's report for this? I mean, do they like the idea or?
We don't know,
we
we
haven't
haven't
gone.
presented to them yet.
Never, no, I mean, in the past, last 2 years,
We never, it was just always part of our,
we just did it all of a
we
sudden?
just did, never, it was just always part of our,
We just did it all of a
we
sudden?
just did it.
Okay.
Yes. We just did it.
Okay. I didn't know if this was a mayor's pet project
Before
or
we
something.
didn't have to do the tree lighting and that, and then we didn't have a Christmas parade, so. But now, after this last year, we need to do it. Now, after this last year, we need to do it.
What's your thought for a footprint? Where do you want to be so that I can talk to the boss about how much we are going to have to be up there?
You might be sorry you asked me that.
No, I'm
Would
not.
you like to see my map?
Is it better than
Sorry you asked me that.
No, I'm
Would
not.
you like to see my map?
is it better than the drawn map that's over there from
Much. It's actually computer generated.
Okay.
And this was if I could get absolutely everybody, their uncle and cousin and neighbor. And I'm not expecting this.
Okay.
And neighbor. And I'm not expecting this.
Okay. I get good eyes. You can spin it.
He probably has much better eyesight than I do.
Let's go on. I'm getting old. All right. So this is your footprint. You're talking about City Hall, right?
Yeah.
That's City Hall back
So-
lot.
Yeah.
City Hall, right?
Yeah.
That's City Hall back
So-
lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about here, garage.
Well, this
Yep.
is phase one. Okay. And then I was thinking of maybe going this way.
Start work tomorrow.
Are you?
Where you
You're
going?
gonna want this shut down. I'm assuming here.
Work tomorrow.
Are you?
Where you
You're gonna
going?
want this shut down. I'm assuming here, right?
Well,
So
I
we're
thought
gonna
the
go to
parade was
Iowa.
going through there.
So
The weather.
if we don't, if there's no
What's
What's coming
parade,
in? Oof.
what's
I
your
wanna
thought
get started.
here?
No,
Like,
good
we
God.
don't want vehicular traffic
Wanna-
Right.
coming down this
Well,
way.
you still have
Wanna be
Santa at the
dismissed?
library.
So we're
Yeah,
talking.
okay.
Well, you still have
Wanna be
Santa at the
dismissed?
library.
So we're
Yeah,
talking
I
that
get to
you'd
work the
want
election all day tomorrow.
some sort of shutdown,
Yeah.
We
And I-
voted on
library
everything,
lot,
so, yeah,
and
you
then at
can.
the other library
go.
lot here.
Can I
And
go?
so what happens with Santa at the library? I'm not familiar.
The library does a program for the kids and they can send.
Inside of the library?
Yep.
Inside.
Yeah, and it's by reservation only.
Okay, so you'd still allow parking lot of the library to be open? for-
She said also, yes, anything we do in conjunction with what they're doing is we can use their library lot.
For parking?
Yes.
So I would think that you, kind of like you do for the 4th of July, to block off on Legend down here. So if you're looking at map.
At the end of the condos.
Yep, so where we do for the 4th of July, block it off there so nobody can get in prior to the back lot of City Hall. So something in this range, you almost might want. So some sort of barricade blockage here, barricade blockage at the library, barricade blockage at the library. So you're talking about shutting that all down, so people still have access to that. And from your tree lighting stuff, you're probably gonna want the front lot of City Hall blocked off as well, right?
Yep, which you
Because
did
you don't
last
want,
time.
you don't
Yep.
want people driving into the front
No.
lot, right?
Yep.
But still have it open to get into the library. So your grounds here, you're talking minimal police presence as you're gonna be doing.
What if we have two vendors? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you'll know as you get closer, but right now.
You're almost thinking probably a supervisor. I'm just trying to think here. You can use auxiliaries. You're gonna get worried about people getting cold, so you don't want people just sitting outside, and you're gonna have to have cycling through personnel. Still vehicular traffic through the library lot, so you still want that monitored. Maybe monitored here. I don't even know if that's necessarily monitored, but people get in and out there. It's almost gonna be blocked off down here.
There,
Oh, yeah.
there, Yep.
You're not gonna want to do concrete barricades because you're talking about a very short picture in time, in and out.
Yep.
So it's almost gonna have to be some
Trucks.
sort of
Like a dump truck or something?
a DPW truck or a police squad with a police uniformed officer. Because if a squad is there, it's probably gonna be a uniformed officer. So worst case scenario, you drop squads. You got 1, 2, 3 squads that are manned by, and then I'm assuming probably won't need anybody for grounds. So you're maybe talking 3 personnel for that noon to 5 slot, which might be a couple people because of shift change and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but I saw your map. That's
Okay.
good. That helps.
Where'd it go?
Might have died. There you go. Inactivity. So, okay.
And this is a dream. I don't know how you guys feel about asking for things in prayer. Asking for things in prayer. Probably not encouraged. But see? Little seating areas with the fire pits, which might be sponsored.
What's a fire pit? What's a fire pit?
It's
Warming
propane.
areas.
It's propane.
Warming areas.
With the wind guards on it, absolutely has to have the guard.
You're talking about those stand-up ones like you see at the bars or people's houses, right?
Yeah.
The Rock has a whole bunch of
The
them.
tables.
Nice. I have one in my backyard.
The Rock has a whole bunch of
The
them.
tables.
Nice. I have one in my backyard.
Yeah.
You run through propane pretty quick though.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it'll last.
they were telling me it would last about 6 hours, and I said, well, it's a 5-hour event.
I'd say four.
Okay.
And
Right.
if it works out, or event.
I'd say four.
Okay.
And
Right.
if it works out, because it's a sponsor, we might have to pay for delivery and setup, because it would be the displays from a store, and they would want to come set them up. So they might not all look the same, but
Okay.
And I have one too, so we got extra for the spot.
All right. I'll get the thoughts here on what we're thinking. If you're thinking first weekend in December or that last weekend in November,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they'll probably push if you're looking issues.
Right.
Even if we're talking
Definitely.
3 officers, it's still a handful of people. I don't know what you're going to get out of DPW because they're going to be different.
they
Okay.
won't be much different because of the hunting situation too. I mean,
Is that last weekend in November less of an issue now for not having a parade?
It would be less of an issue, but
Yeah,
it's
as you
still
said.
it's that time off. So
Can we get one officer to get like 8-year-old kids that rides around the city hall in a police car with the lights going?
that would be
The
fun.
kids would love it.
they would.
They let Doug's
You don't
son
have
sit
kids
in
that
one
smoke
last year, and he was thrilled. Let him put on one of the bulletproof vests. And, well, that's heavy. He's going to South.
Oh, yeah.
And it's,
I'll take them to,
Oh.
yes.
They climb on my motorcycle. They do all the pictures, all that fun
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, that's a blast.
Okay.
I missed
Motion
that
to
somewhere.
adjourn.
Second.
Not yet. Motion to adjourn.
I did that.
Oh, yeah, I second it.
Second.
And I already heard a second over
Oh.
there.
You're a third.
And yes,
Meeting
no.